A night in with MauLer and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen dictors. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Pop up the cork, have a glass of wine, touch the old say, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, MauLer and the critical drinker.
All right, let's make this thing happen. MauLer, are you here?
What?
Yeah. What?
Have I
woken you from your slumber?
Nah, I was here the whole time. I was here before you.
I saw that. I saw that super chat you left me when I did the Ask the Drinker stream the other day. Who's your favorite gas mask wearing longoid? And I was like, man, I need another. I need to try and find another YouTuber who looks like your avatar. It's couldn't off the top of my head.
Did you answer my second question? It was very important.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. How many drinks are too many? I was like, there's no such thing as too many drinks. Your body will tell you when it's had too much.
Do you see who I was asking on behalf of?
A friend. Yeah.
Yes, a very Scottish and gay friend. What if we can narrow that down? I'm just not sure.
There's too many gay Scottish people around these parts. Anyway, welcome everybody. We're here for Open Bar 158. We are really storming through the years in this case. And are you ready, MauLer, to learn a bit about this year in particular?
I sure am. Excitement abound.
We're not going to have many more of these. We'll reach that point where we've caught up with ourselves, and then we just have to stop, and we'll find a new gimmick to start it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, stuff that happened in 1958. I'm going to give you some history here. The European Economic Community, which was kind of like the precursor to the European Union, was first formed in January of that year. So it was mostly an economic union at first, then it became a political union, then a military union, and who knows what's next. We're all just going to fuse together into some horrifying mass of humanity, just, actually joined. What's that thing, like the Katamari game, where it's just goes around like sucking people? Yeah. Fidel Castro staged his revolution in Cuba in 1958 as well. Nice, I guess.
Good for him,
Yeah, well done, Fidel. Iraq's monarchy was overthrown in July of that year. NASA was established. Go NASA, 1958.
Wow.
And it began Project Mercury. The goal was sending Americans into space, which they achieved fairly quickly.
Nice.
Also, the first integrated circuit ever was created. Jack Kilby demonstrated the first integrating circuit, which was basically a microchip. Which was obviously pretty useful for the whole computer revolution thing that was starting to kick off.
Yeah, I've heard about computers.
Yeah, they became kind of a big deal for a while. It was a bit of a fad. They phased out after a bit.
Run out now, yeah, books are back.
Yeah. Also, we got our very first laser, which is, I think that's just fantastic. Gordon Gould invented it, which was obviously big deal for physics and technology. They didn't really know what to do with it at first, but, then you realized you can cut through like walls and melt things and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Or just use it to point at whiteboards and, deliver really boring business meetings.
Yeah.
The first ever video game was actually created in 1958 as well. It was called Tennis for Two, and it was made by William Higginbotham. In October of that year. So it was kind of a precursor to Pong, for lack of a better description.
I can't remember it because I haven't seen it in a while, but Ahoy has a video about the first video game, and I think like the video broadly gets to the point of starting with Pong, and then he's like, it goes way further back than that. You're like, oh my god.
You're just entering the rabbit hole when you talk about Pong. Yeah. Obviously, these would have been developed in like physics labs and stuff with like, computers the size of my house. And it was going to be a couple of decades before they were practical for use in the home. But hey, it's kind of cool that like they had video games in the 1950s. It's pretty wild. Equally important for our society, the hula hoop was invented by the Whammo toy company. I mean, okay, sure. And instant noodles were also created in that year, which is, I think,
man, feeding students forever.
Yeah, exactly. Bachelor chow for like the next half century and beyond. Yeah, big movies of 1958, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, one of those all-time classics. Vertigo and Alfred Hitchcock, superb movie. The Hidden Fortress, which was another Akira Kurosawa movie, and A Night to Remember, which is one of the first movies about the sinking of the Titanic, which actually is a really fucking good film. I watched it maybe 10 years ago. I just happened to catch it on TV, and I was like, this is actually pretty fucking good. Obviously, didn't have the budget of things like James Cameron's version, but I don't know, it captured the sinking pretty effectively. I think you can do a lot when you're using just miniatures and stuff, kind of like when you get them in space battles, that sort of thing, and you see like a spaceship explode. It's so much cooler when it's a model and it's like physically there.
It really fucked up the production of Rings of Power of all things, because they were like, wait, boats are not sinky, are they? And then it was like, yeah.
Boats are floaty and stones are sinky.
All boats were floaty, but turns out they can be sinky.
They can be sinky if you put enough sinky stones into them.
They never addressed this in Rings of Power. What if you put the rocks in the boat? Ugh.
It's so nuanced, that's the thing I love about it. There's so much to unpack with Rings of Power, Also, famous actors are people who were born in 1958. And it's wild that these are people who are all the same age. Sharon Stone, Madonna, Alec Baldwin, Gary Oldman, Angela Bassett are all the same age. Tim Burton, Michelle Pfeiffer. It's funny, like people like Michelle Pfeiffer, I still think of them as being fairly young, when clearly they're not. But, Bruce Campbell, Kevin Bacon, Jamie Lee Curtis, and last but certainly not least, Ice-T.
Wow. He's been in some great movies, Ice-T. My God.
I mean, War of the Worlds, man. Absolutely.
Wait, wasn't that Ice Cube?
No, it's Ice-T. I made a point of mixing them all up in my video.
Them all? How many ices are there?
There's Vanilla Ice. There's, I'm sure I had a bunch
of
ice
is easy to separate, but maybe that's
no. What are you trying to say, MauLer? I'm colorblind.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's enough pointless bullshit. Let's bring in our panel so we can talk about actual bullshit instead.
Yes.
Pointful bullshit, you might say. Anyway, welcome to the bar, Robot Head, Reaper, and Nick from The Plot Strikes Back. Welcome, gentlemen. It's great to have you here for Open Bar once again.
Hello.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Yeah, Nick making his debut on the bar, so it's good to have you on, my friends. Welcome
absolutely.
aboard.
Pretty sure it's try today, but all right.
Yeah, we'll try to treat you kindly anyway.
Yeah.
I guess now that you guys are here, you might be familiar with The Witcher. That was a really good series of books and games as well. The CD Projekt Red did a really good job adapting them. Then Netflix got the TV rights to it, and good things did not happen after that. And wow, after 3 entire seasons of that garbage show, I was trying to think of something more appropriate, but I can't. It's just garbage. Henry Cavill, the lead actor, left, and they replaced him with Liam Hemsworth. And here we go. We got the first teaser trailer for season 4.
Exciting.
To give you an idea of how the audience received it, it is currently sitting at
102,000.
Yeah, no, I was going to try and get the overall views, but I think it's 1.6 million views, so it's 25,000 upvotes it's had and 102,000 downvotes, which is it's a solid ratio, It's the kind of thing that most shows could only aspire to, but they've managed it.
Good job.
The comments are superb. Let's see if I can read a few of the top comments out to you here. What is it? Let's see. Got to respect them for keeping the comment section open. That's 9,000 upvotes. Liam pulling out the Wraith's heart, quite symbolic of what the producers have done to this show. This is the only screen time that Geralt will get in this entire season. Losing Henry Cavill because he was too faithful to the source material is just insane. Lol. The Switcher. And remember, guys, don't blame Liam, blame the producers. I mean, it's not looking great, is it?
Well, you got to give it to Liam. Liam is stepping into a sinking ship.
Yeah.
Like a highly controversial character swap. Like I think he'll actually come across quite well because everyone knows he's got a fucking bad time.
Yeah.
That's not his fault.
It's not 100% not his fault, and I've got no ill will towards him. Like, it's just a gig for him. It's more the show itself, and he's got an almost impossible task of trying to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Did they say this was going to be the final season, or are they going to do more after
I think
this?
they're filming 4 and 5 back to back. So we'll get to.
Oh my god.
But like the weird thing is, like, the problems aren't Geralt. Like, the show was terrible with Henry Cavill. It was the writing, the changing of the lore, the episodes, the boring fucking action scenes. It's awful all around.
At least he's getting paid.
I mean, yeah, hopefully he's getting paid a lot, but like, I tried to summarize all the problems in my video I just made about it, where it's like, they changed the lore, they race swapped half the characters, they made it so that you could never tell where the hell you were at any particular time, because every village and every town, like, the population looks exactly the same. It's the same, like, ethnic mix of people. Geralt was relegated to a background character in his own show. It's basically just the Ciri and Yennefer girl power hour with a special guest appearance by Geralt. And it's just dog shit. Like, the only bits that were actually good was the kind of monster of the week segments, and even they got a bit tiresome after a while because the action scenes, like Reaper said, were so badly shot and badly staged. It was just a shit show. And it's wild that they've had 4 seasons of it.
Well, it's just the first season. Like, the Toss a Coin to Your Witcher was a very popular song. But
yes,
like,
it was.
Imagine how much you can just carry on after a first good season. Because even Stranger Things, to a degree, the first season was good. Second and third season are dog shit. And it did the rare thing of pulling it back for season 4. But that never happened. But even like Rings of Power, you can have a terrible season, but just on brand alone, you can keep $1 billion. You can have like 5 seasons of a show.
That $1 billion really helps.
I mean, in related news to this concept, like Born Again, I think just got renewed for season 3, and it's like, guys, season 1 tanked. You haven't even got season 2 out yet. You want to just season? Okay, fine. It's like, whatever.
I mean, the money that they must have dumped into The Witcher alone is... I'm going to try and find out what the budget for this is. The Witcher TV show.
With all these new shows, I can't believe they don't even like film pilots anymore. They just greenlight 3 seasons.
All right, here we go. So, fuck me. So they've
This is going to be low.
This makes me want to throw up. They've spent over $500 million on the Witcher franchise so far. So season
million
1
just doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, you just say 500 million. We all go, oh yeah, $500 million. That's normal for a TV show.
Yeah.
Season 1, 92 million they spent. So that was like 11.5 million per episode. Season 2, almost twice as much, 176 million, which works out as 22 million an episode. Answer me this. What the fuck did they spend that money on? Because it wasn't VFX and it wasn't getting good quality actors in apart from Henry Cavill.
Yeah, hopefully Henry got a
it wasn't even the sets because they look cheap as fuck.
Remember the Nilfgaard ball sack armor?
Yeah, which was clearly plastic. Yeah.
I wonder how much Cavill got from that season.
I hope it was a lot.
Yeah.
I really do.
I hope
he was worth it. But yeah, like, to go through the humiliation ritual of being in that show, because you could kind of you could chart the progress of that show just by how much the life had drained out of his eyes with each passing season. Like, you could tell he just fucking hated being there, and I don't blame him. He talked openly about this, how he would clash with the producers because, like, he didn't agree with like 90% of the choices they made, because the unfortunate reality is he knew the lore and the characters way better than they ever did.
Yeah,
and that
did
made
they
him
tell him to just shut up and act, basically?
Yeah, that made him problematic, apparently. And then you start getting all these fucking slurs against him. Yeah, like,
God forbid.
He was like this toxic, misogynist gamer bro. And I'm like, stop. I can only like him so much. Like,
I know.
Calm down. It's like... But it's like, why? Because he disagreed with you and he didn't go along with your dumb as fuck ideas for this character. Of course he wouldn't.
I think we'd be shocked if we saw where all the money went in all these shows, because the figures they throw out are just insane. and they say it's incredibly expensive to make these shows because of unions and contracts, and they've got to pay every bloody person. Of course, they've got to pay people, but you know what I mean, over the top. I think we'd be shocked if we saw where this money went, because like $500 million is a fucking lot of money.
Yes,
it's got to be corruption. They got to be pocketing the money, otherwise my mind just can't make sense of it. The
Acolyte looked like shit, and that thing was like 250 million or something. You'd think, where's that going? This has got to be some sort of Ponzi scheme here. It's going into someone's pocket.
Godzilla -1. How much was that? Like 20 million?
15 million.
Yeah,
15
million.
Godzilla looks great. How the fuck do they spend like 30 times that?
It looks great in black and white too.
Yeah, exactly. How do you spend 30 times the budget of Godzilla -1 and have a worse looking show?
I think that what was so demoralizing about it as well is like you could tell that the writing staff and the creative team behind this actually hated the source material. Like they obviously had a story of their own that they wanted to tell, and it just so happens they've been given the framework of The Witcher to tell it within. Because you get all these reports. I think even Bo DeMaio like talked about this, where it's like the writing staff would routinely mock the books and the source material and actively like shit on it because they wanted to do their own thing. And I guess because it was written by a Polish guy a good few years back, it's problematic by today's standards, and they had to correct his mistakes and make it more suitable for modern audiences.
Didn't someone say is it Lauren Hisrich? Someone said to him, don't race swap the characters. And she went, I'm not going to do it because I'm feeling liberal that day. And then she proceeded to race swap the characters.
Yeah.
And everyone they were all activists. There's that picture where they have all the paper with the little, I can't remember what the fucking thing is, the protesting. But they're all hyper political writing staff who, as you said, hate the source material.
Yeah. It's funny because people have like photoshopped those cards and placards that we're holding up, and it's like, I'm sorry that we can't tell a good story. I'm sorry that like our season 1 was a fucking non-chronological disaster. I'm sorry for the dragon. Like it's all that bullshit.
Henry Cavill's such a mystery that they don't just use him more. Like he's so loved and so liked by people.
Yeah,
and he'd be accepted into nearly any role. Like people want him in James Bond, and he could be the next Wolverine, and everyone would be happy. But they just don't do it. It's just I don't know what is he too handsome?
It makes too much sense to cast him. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know why they fight it.
That's honestly what it feels like. It's like Bond of all things. He is the ultimate like just fucking obvious choice. But it's almost like they can't do it because he's too obvious or something. I don't know.
It's got to be a problem with him being Bond. Because we got to think he had the horrible period of being born and being famous in like 2016 to 2024, where everyone was getting race swapped. All the white male characters were getting thrown out.
Yeah, his prime time has been like lost, kind of. You can still cast him, you can still do great. It's just that he's lost a lot of the years he could have spent on a lot of those characters, and it's like, why? It's just like, you got overlooked hard.
Let's make him Superman, but then give him to Zack Snyder and have him blow up.
Oh man,
I was just about to say, it's too bad he got wasted years in dealing with Zack Snyder. I mean, great. Listen, love him as Superman. I think he's a perfect fit, but it's the capacity at which he was involved with that, ultimately tanked some of his best years, where he could have been, doing other things.
He's like a roller coaster. Every time you get announcements, he's Superman. Way, it's directed by Zack Snyder. Oh, he's going to be Carol. Way, it's directed
I think the ultimate like humiliation, and this must have been so fucking embarrassing for him on like a professional level, is when he had straight up announced that he was coming back as Superman and another movie was in the works. Man. Yeah. And then it's like David Zaslav steps in, James Gunn steps in, and then boom, it's been cancelled, and I'm not doing anything now. Like, fuck me, why did you let him? Like, never have a guy announce something unless like the contract is inked and it's set in stone.
He's probably too nice, but there's going to be a good book there one day when he comes out with all the stories and dealing with all this shit. Yeah.
Please.
But yeah, as MauLer said, like that's his prime years as like an actor when he should be establishing himself as an A-list star. And like when you've lost that, it's kind of difficult to get them that momentum back, especially when you're in your 40s, because that's when like the next crop of like the next generation of actors are coming up to replace you, and you need to have made it by that point. And in a way as well, and this is totally not his fault, but all these shit projects that he's been put into, like The Witcher, like Superman, you know, if they fail, it is like a black mark against him as an actor, because people, casting agents and stuff, will be like, oh, that guy's been in nothing but fucking flops for years. Like, do we really want him? Is there any hype around him now? And again, it's so undeserved, but like it's just been sheer bad luck and incompetence from other people.
Ryan Gosling's agents, because Ryan Gosling has been after hit after hit. He joined Barbie, and he was the best thing in Barbie.
Well, people like for
Star Wars.
People for a long time were saying like it's because he had the same agent as The Rock, and so the fucking Rock just got put into everything, like all the prime juicy roles, and Henry got the shit like leftovers that he could never make a go of.
The Rock is doing the Smashing Machine, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just really glad to finally do real movies." And I just went, "Hang on a second, you tried to take control of DC and used Henry Cavill as bait. Let's not act like your hands were innocent." That's like James Gunn. James Gunn went, "Oh, that was bad. I had nothing to do with that. Your wife is in Black Adam. You're lying bastard."
I mean, The Rock is obsessed with his image. He knows exactly what he's doing. He noticed as well as we did that he tanked. I'm not sure what the year span would be, but there was a time where The Rock was like considered pretty awesome by everybody. And
from Fast Five onwards until about Black Adam was like effectively the end of his like untouchable box office streak.
Yeah, like
and
early.
It's been downhill since then.
When those guys get off the juice, man, do they shrink down fast. I was shocked when I saw The Rock. Jesus.
Don't do steroids, kids.
Yeah.
Stay natty.
I mean, I don't know if this is just him, like, he got, like, really big for the Smashing Machine, and I don't know if he's, like, you know, just taking a break now to let his body recover, or if he's just off it now permanently, and he's like, okay, it's time to get into the mature acting phase of my career, you know, where I'm middle-aged and, you know, not
he's probably
this big powerhouse.
People keep saying Batista's better than him. He's probably like, fuck you. I'm the best wrestler.
Batista's the best wrestler.
He'll have a pearl necklace on next. Around.
I mean, fucking hell. Like, comparing Batista and The Rock, it's like comparing a guy with 2 broken legs versus 1 broken leg is like, who can run faster? Like, well, neither of them really. Like,
it's like who's in the leaderboard, and it's like a lot of people should be like, I guess John Cena's number 1. It's like it's not Triple H. I don't know if you guys ever saw him in a movie.
I saw him in Blade Trinity.
Yeah. You got Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan did some acting.
Roddy Piper.
True.
Oh yes. He actually did a good film.
These guys, all of these guys did stuff, but
but when they hit
John
that
Cena
stage where they're like, athlete, I want to be in movies, that works. Then all of a sudden, now hang on, I want to be Robert De Niro. Like, being in the movies for millions of dollars isn't quite enough.
Yeah.
I want a drama movie.
I think Cena does have the most talent, but it's weird because I feel like he's got the least respect from people.
Well,
you can't see him.
There's a couple of reasons for that.
China video where he's speaking Chinese and everyone called him John Cena with an X.
I couldn't look at him the same. It's fucking... He's groveling.
I think that's the problem. Is he got on stage and got naked. He's willing to do anything, and people feel the desperation from him.
He's like a pledge at a fucking like fraternity or something. Like, but they're like the pledge period's never going to end for him. I feel like Hollywood's just dicking with him, and like they're just going to keep humiliating him over and over again.
60 years old, he's still getting naked.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen as well. Like he's not looking good these days. Like just how he moves, like all those years of wrestling have kind of taken their toll on him, and he just looks. He's kind of bent over like an old man now.
Cena?
Yeah.
Oh wow! No, I haven't looked at him recently or anything like
that.
He's still massive, obviously, but like I don't know. He doesn't move. He moves like a man who's in his 60s or something instead of his 40s, like he actually is.
Will he be off the roids next? Skinny, pearl necklace.
Well, he can't. He's in Peacemaker, isn't he? And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
he's the new star of DC, apparently, right? So, alongside Corn Sweat.
Yeah.
Those white
Well,
actors.
it'd be funny if he just wants to get off the drugs and James Gunn comes in with a needle.
No, you can't.
Medicine.
Yeah.
John, we
shot.
need you to get
He's got
bigger.
a nurse's outfit on, which he'd happily do.
The thing is,
Yeah, John-
nobody's watching Peacemaker. I don't know anyone who's fucking talking about it. Like, there's absolutely zero conversation about this online.
I haven't watched the second
Boring.
season.
The only thing I know about it, because I haven't watched it, is all the cocks in it and the orgies. That's all I know.
We're trying to be
Definitely tell us
hero
the James
gasm from the
Yeah,
boys.
that's enticing to watch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, the
Yeah,
cop
it's
show.
like-
Let's go.
Jesus.
it is like it's tapping into that like shock value bullshit of the boys. You know, oh look how many naked people we can show on screen. Isn't it shocking? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it like subversive? It's like,
But it's
nah.
not
At a certain point, it's just desperate.
And I
Well,
know
it's
everyone
like-
says this, but you come out of Superman and they're like, "Hey kids, what's next?" And it's like this show. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, and like
it's just James Gunn just
personally
can't help himself.
pushing it so hard. You gotta watch Peacemaker, otherwise you won't understand the gaps between Superman and Superman, the next whatever Superman. It's just like, all right. Somehow I don't
James.
even think that's true, but you know.
No.
And James,
I
you're
think we'll be
assuming
fine.
we even fucking care at this
Yeah.
point, like that we actually want to understand. It's like, nah, I don't think a lot of people do.
Well, the
you know.
next one is Supergirl, and then you've got, which that's going to be awful. Then you've got Superman 2, where Lex Luthor is teaming up with Superman. And we know what's going to happen. He's going to be a hero by the end of it, and then he's going to be president in Superman 3. He's going to be a Trump-like president.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna fuck. Like there'll be a big orgy and there'll be loads of cocks everywhere.
He pegs him with a kryptonite dildo.
Yeah. Kryptonite cock, basically.
Yeah.
And you know
I did
they'll
like-
give him a wig like they did to Gene Hackman. There'll be like a Trump wig he'll wear.
Yeah.
His whole voice will change too. I don't like Superman, but we had to team up.
Gee, you're good at that.
Yeah, I did
Too
like
good.
this super chat here from Razor Riaz says Henry Cavill's going to go down in history as the actor with the most potential, and yet everybody wastes him. Panel, what is your favorite Henry Cavill performance and why?
I'm a big fan of him in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
switch
that was
from
good
Oh,
shout.
it might be it.
aggressive foil in a more heroic sense and then slips into the absolute villain is watching him get so fucking frustrated with Ethan Hunt managing to survive all of these insane antics is hilarious.
Just the way he delivers that line, like, why would you die?
It's
Yeah,
one of the
he's
biggest
surprising,
fucking
isn't it?
mistakes of any franchise that they didn't bring him back. Like anyone gives a fuck that he's dead. It's just bring him back for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you just give him like a metal forehead or something and went, oh, he
Absolutely.
survived.
It'll be so fucking good.
To make him
But
as like
oh,
a half cyborg, it would have been better than what we got in the last
He was good
two
in
movies.
A Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was,
I was going
great.
to say,
in that.
yeah, that was really good. Like, that was about as close as you'll ever get to Bond, sadly,
Yeah.
but yeah.
The Mission Impossible really made me look at him differently because
Mhm.
I hadn't seen from Man from Uncle. I don't know which order they came out, but like I just thought Superman, he's just too good looking and big, and I don't know, it's not going to work. He was awesome in that. Give him a mo and you can put him in anything.
Yeah, Man from U.N.C.L.E. came out first,
Yeah, I thought it
I
did.
believe.
Yeah. But he was actually quite good in Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm one of like 5 people on planet Earth who actually watched that movie. But
I
it
watched
was
it.
a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
It was a good
fun.
action movie. I mean, I think if you look at like the actual historical facts about that squad, completely different. Like the guy that
Yeah, they went
Alan
like
Ritchson
that.
plays, he's not that jacked. He's probably smaller than I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's like a puny dude that actually went on a rampage though in real life in World War II and like killed like a ton of guys. Then like I think he got killed by like some sort of claymore. He went out with the bang basically, but yeah, obviously they have to make that movie all big and masculine. Like, oh, who can we find that's bigger than Henry Cavill? What about Alan Ritchson? Okay, let's put him in the
Yeah.
movie.
Whenever you read about those guys, I read about one guy that broke out of a prison camp and then went on a killing spree, like sniping Nazis and that for months. And so you look him up, and it's this skinny looking, of course, his skinny's been a concentration camp, but just this
Yeah.
normal looking dude with slicked over hair, tiny. You
Yeah,
just think, fucking hell, we just kid ourselves what tough is, you know?
yeah.
What was
I
the
think it's-
unkillable soldier? The unkillable soldier, like he got shot, he's got his hand blown up by a grenade, and he had 2 fingers remaining, and he said, send me back into the fight, and they said, no, you've got 2 fingers. So he bit his 2 fingers off, and I went, now I've got no fingers, you have to patch me up and send me back in.
This is I know this guy you're talking about, right?
That's tough.
Because I was just looking him up here, right? His name was Sir Adrian Carton du Viart. He was considered the most wounded British officer ever, sustaining at least 11 major injuries in his 60-year military career. So here's a highlight reel of what his injuries were, right? He fought in the Boer War, suffered bullet wounds to the stomach and groin. World War I, he was shot 8 times on the Western Front. He lost his left eye after being shot in the face. Lost his left hand after an injury at the Second Battle of Ypres. When a doctor refused to amputate his mangled fingers, he tore them off himself. He sustained gunshot wounds to his head, ankle, leg, and hip in various other battles throughout the Western Front. But he was like, nah, I'm not done. World War II came along. He was in his 60s at this point. God. Survived 2 plane crashes, one of which led to his capture by the Italians in 1941. Made multiple escape attempts from the prisoner of war camp he was put in, including a 7-month tunneling effort. Managed to elude recapture for 8 days while disguised as an Italian peasant, despite being over 60, having a missing hand, and wearing an eye patch.
This sounds like a Pink Panther movie.
And he wasn't fucking done yet, right? He was then made Winston Churchill's representative in China after the war, and he fucking fell down a flight of stairs and fractured several vertebrae.
There's another one before that.
They can't make that movie because no one would believe it. Like, you just would not believe those things would happen.
There's 2 other things. One is in Poland after the war, he was on a slow-moving train and I got attacked by bandits. He fell off the train, got up, ran back on, got on the train and shot the bandits. Then...
But that's like fucking nobody when he gets put through the bus window.
Yeah.
He comes back in.
He's wrote an autobiography about his life. He has a wife and kids. He does not mention them at all. He just mentions the war. He just goes, it was the best time of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, because he basically just talked about why he kept fighting in wars, and he's like, I fucking loved it. Or words to that effect. It's like, war was just really fun for me.
0 mention of his wife and kids.
I wonder what this guy's like worst day is, or what he would define as a bad day to him, considering like everything he went through that he loved.
It was probably being a diplomat in China going, oh, I just want to shoot someone.
It was probably when he had to like spend the day with his wife and kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is so boring. No one's shooting at me.
Family time. Damn it.
We love your dad. He goes, fuck off.
His wife be going, do you reckon you could change a nappy once? He's like, nah, one hand. Can't do that. I can only just climb back on train.
I can fight in wars and fly airplanes and stuff, but I can't change a nappy. Sorry.
Or it's just a giant lie to get away from hanging around with his wife. Oh, I can't. Blew my hand off.
Back to war. They need me.
There was another super chat that came in here from Hope This Helps. Says, hey, Drinker, between Charlie Kirk's assassination and the 24th anniversary of 9/11, last Thursday was a really hard day. Yeah, no kidding, man. Thanks for having a regular open bar, letting me escape this crazy world for a little. Great job on production hell for Wizard of Oz. Yeah, man, that movie was fucking wild. I'd heard stories about it, but like I'd never researched it properly until it came time to make that video, and like, holy shit, man! Like
because they nearly killed a couple of people, didn't they?
Yeah, the Wicked Witch
with body
of the West,
paints and
she got set on fire because she was supposed to like fall through a trapdoor, and then there was meant to be pyrotechnics with like flame and stuff, but then the fucking trapdoor didn't open, and so she just got set on fire.
Wow.
You know who they should have cast?
Burns.
They should have cast the world's most wounded soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have just shrugged it off. Just another day at work.
Wasn't the
At the
snow
time of his life?
Can we do it again?
Some of the snow asbestos?
It was, yeah.
She just had a horrible time. Maybe
Yeah,
they were
she was getting
trying to
molested by the Munchkins as well.
Oh,
because most of
Jesus.
them were guys in their 40s, and apparently they were having like wild orgies at their hotel every night because they had nothing else to do. And then on set,
Nice.
they were just like groping her and stuff.
Did you hear when they
I
had the
cannot watch
opening
that
to?
film again.
Yeah,
I think was it that movie or Willy Wonka where they hired midgets to be up on the awning of the theater for the premiere, and they gave them booze and food, and they all got drunk and took their clothes off. It was one of those films. That's a true story.
I hope it's that. Oh yeah, and the guy who was playing the Tin Man, the paint, it was basically paint with aluminium dust mixed into it, so it would like shine like metal. The problem is he inhaled the dust and went into like anaphylactic shock or something, and had to get rushed to the hospital. And he spent like the next, I think, month basically on a ventilator trying not to die. And he was called by the studio like 3 or 4 times during that period, told to get back to work. Just like walk it off.
Jesus.
Like, fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Did they replace him? Or was
They
it the
replaced
witch they
him.
replaced?
No, they
Yeah.
replaced him, right? But
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
thought
tell his replacement what had happened to like the original guy. It's like, no, don't worry about this paint. It'll be fine, man.
And these are the guys that went to war, so they would have been like, you fucking pussy, get
Yeah.
back to work.
Yeah. It was a different time, man.
Dealt with mustard gas. What is this shit?
Yeah. I think my favorite bit there was that the lion costume was made out of an actual lion skin, and so it was
Nice.
it weighed something like 70 or 80 pounds.
It looks heavy.
Yeah, and they only had one because like the coloration and stuff would like cause continuity errors, and so they were under like super hot studio lights because the Technicolor film that they used needed like 3 times the brightness of normal lights in order to develop properly. And so 3 times the brightness means 3 times the heat. And so it was probably like 38 Celsius on set most days. God knows what that is in Fahrenheit. It's probably like 100 degrees or something.
Like
And this
it, yeah.
poor guy was just like sweating buckets into the suit all day. And apparently it smelled so fucking bad because it's like actual lion fur. Nobody would go near him like on break times and stuff. He had to go and sit in a corner by himself.
Well, I like the way they just went, let's kill a lion for the movie.
Yeah.
Things used to be better back then.
Back in the good old days. When we
Offhand,
were
It still
breathing in
looks good, that film.
asbestos.
It holds up. They just need to kill more animals these days.
I think so. Bad news for the world of entertainment today, though. Jimmy Kimmel, sadly, has been fired from his show.
Oh, no.
Well, his entire show's been shut down after the comments he made regarding Charlie Kirk. Basically saying that I'm not going to get into it too much, but trying to imply that the shooter was actually a Republican and that, the people on the other side were effectively just trying to monetize his death and turn it to their political advantage. And I think smearing Charlie Kirk and basically saying a bunch of untrue things about him. Now, I think we've talked a little bit about like what free speech and stuff means. But like my opinion has always been like you can say what you want and you can make jokes about the things that you want, even if they are distasteful or whatever. But I think that when you cross that line into either inciting violence against people, like calling for it, or straight up like libeling people and defaming them and saying things that are like provably untrue, you either open yourself up to legal action or a defamation lawsuit. And it seems like that's the kind of situation he's landed himself in there. And boom, he's gone. And it doesn't feel like it's been a great loss for humanity because he was fucking chronically unfunny, if nothing else.
Just a smug prick.
Well, do you think they fired him because of the Charlie Kirk stuff, or that was just an excuse? Because Stephen Colbert got fired. Yeah, because Stephen Colbert got fired, and it was because he was just a propaganda piece that made no money.
Yeah,
with those fucking needles behind him, that fucking twat.
I don't know if there's any money in like these late night talk show bullshit shows because it feels like nobody's fucking interested in them anymore. Partly like it's a problem of their own making. That they're super unfunny, they're politically partisan, they're just like a mouthpiece for whatever the current thing is, and they're about as authentic as fucking gas station sushi, so no one like wants to watch it because it's just all staged manmanufactured garbage.
Not that I ever gas station sushi, man. It's crazy.
Well,
I was thinking that's not that bad. Their opening monologues, it seems, can they ever do one without getting into politics? It's like it's impossible now.
No.
Well, they're not comedy shows, they're politics shows. That's it.
Yeah.
They're all left-wing politics shows.
Yeah. And I think it's funny as well because people are talking about like, oh, how can you be celebrating cancel culture and like people getting taken off air or whatever. There is like multiple bits of footage of him celebrating when Tucker Carlson got fired. And it's like, well, okay, you know, if you're going to play that game, you know,
And Roseanne. Apparently,
yeah,
he was going off about Roseanne.
Yeah. So like you've set the rules of this game, so don't be surprised when your opponents use them against you. You know,
Well,
and
it's like,
that's
what's that? Oh, it's the consequence of my actions. Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like the same thing when people were, talking about COVID and not wearing masks or not getting the vaccine, right? Like, I mean, it's the same thing. People were getting canceled. People were losing their jobs if they didn't take it, right? So it's these same people that were cheering for that and promoting it. It's now having that blowback against them. So but they don't like it that way. You know, it's like the whole like rules for thee for not, but not for me thing. But I'm loving it. So
I mean, you kind of nailed it, Drinker, with the opening, right? Like, it's if you're gonna, you know, where is it? I don't know if we're gonna go as far as saying everyone here's a kind of close to a free speech, not absolutist, but extremist. It's quite far we'll go to protect it, but everyone has a line, and you know, if the line, which is I've seen a couple of videos on this, it seems to be like that he not only lied, it was a lie that can cause immense damage at the worst time possible. So if those are the requirements, which I don't think are really unfair, the only issue I could ever take is like, hey, why don't we look at the whole list of people that should have the consequences delivered to them for things like that on, you know, mainline TV shows? He should not be the only one. But if that's the reasoning, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously the difference being if it were like a comedian trying to tell a funny joke that was supposed to be harmless, but at the same time a little bit edgy, it gets complicated. I don't know. I guess I understand like why people are going to get very infuriated over it, but it is fascinating to look back at the past, I don't know, 10 years and just see all of the different examples, how they match up, and how ultimately it just seems like as long as your side's benefiting, you're happy. That seems to be the broad conclusion.
Seems to be, and it's like his particular side has wielded the axe of cancel culture, like basically with impunity for the past 5 years at least, probably 10 years realistically. And there's probably an element of Schadenfreude to see it get turned on them for a change, and to see them finally like experience the consequences of their actions, because it's very much deserved. And you know, like I said earlier, if you're going to set the rules of this particular game, they're going to get used against you eventually, and you don't get to fucking complain about it because you guys cheered it on many, many times as careers were destroyed, livelihoods were destroyed, actual people's lives were destroyed. Why? Because they disagreed with you. And I think as well, when it comes to this whole cancel culture thing, there is a big difference between something like this, where it's like a person essentially gets fired from their job because they said something so libelous or some defamatory, that it could straight up get their network sued for hundreds of millions of dollars, versus, I don't know, digging up an edgy joke that a person made on Twitter like 10 years ago and using that to get them fired from their job now when they've done nothing wrong since then. You know, there's a big old difference there.
I suppose what's interesting is the South Park component, because South Park was doing Charlie Kirk jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what kind of annoys me is that they've took the episode down and they're not showing the next one because they're redoing it. I'm like, no, you said it, put it up and don't back out. It's the same thing with the Muhammad episode where they didn't show Muhammad. You did it, show it, don't be a bitch. Own up to what you did. But now that they're backtracking now.
A lot of people pointed out, like, Charlie Kirk liked the episode they did with him.
Yeah.
So, you know, and
I can see I can see just like from a humanist point of view, like not wanting to like disrespect and mock a guy who's just recently died.
I get that,
But like, I think, as you say, like Charlie himself apparently had no problem with the episode, and it's something that they made quite some time ago, long before any of this stuff happened, and so I would suggest putting it back up.
It was a bad coincidence, but I don't think it should have been taken down, because I think if anything, people would have probably watched that episode more. So it could have helped their views out or their ratings out. Maybe that was the most watched episode of the season, perhaps. But if you take it down, you can't get that feedback. But
You simply put out a statement going, "Oh, sorry, Charlie Kirk's been shot and stuff," and I mean, not like that, bit more eloquent.
Sorry, bro.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but you just simply say, "We wish his condolences for his family. This was obviously written beforehand," and you just put it up. You'd have more respect. You're standing by what you did. With these
on the other
ones,
hand, you can get why a studio would just be like, no, never, no, we're gonna get in loads of trouble, too panicky, that sort of thing.
I gave him $1 billion. I'd go fucking do anything.
Yeah. But I mean, it's it does make me wonder, like, how many other dominoes are going to fall as a result of all this, because it feels like Charlie Kirk's side are out for blood at this point. And yeah, I don't know how many other, whether it's going to be media personalities or content creators. just I could name a few names off the top of my head, are gonna feel the wrath of this, because it doesn't feel like it's gonna stop with Jimmy Kimmel. Like, it feels like there's gonna be more.
Well, there's hundreds of those late night ones that should go regardless of Charlie Kirk, because they're talentless, unfunny, and he don't make any money.
Yeah.
If he was making money and rating through the roof, there's no way they would have got rid of him.
No.
So,
it's like the news. Like CNN, NBC, Fox, they don't make news. They're just there. They use them for propaganda, the government.
To push them, yeah.
Not like everyone's mentioning The View. It's like, get rid of The View next, yeah. It's like a fucking toxic cesspool of retardation and, like political capturing. It's awful.
But The View at least keeps them where we know they are. It's like sort of having a zoo. Like,
we know where they are.
It's expected, yeah.
It's like a Victorian freak show, you go in and say, look at these monstrosities. It's a crime against nature. Yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I wonder if, like, how many networks are just, as you say, Reaper, like, they're lumbered with these crappy either late night shows or talk shows or whatever that are losing money, that nobody really likes anymore. And like, now that very much the cultural winds have changed quite drastically, they're really quite desperate to jettison and be rid of. And it's like, is stuff like this just going to be a good pretense for them?
Yeah, well, the problem is they've hired all these activists. Like, they are littered with them from top to bottom, all over management. And with all the laws we have in place now, you can't just go, you're shit at your job, you're fired. You have to come up with all these pretenses and stuff, because they'll go to the tribunals and have unfair dismissal. You'll have all this fucking shit going on, all these lawsuits. So you need to find legitimate reasons to get rid of these wankers.
Who's the other guy? Seth. I can't think of his last name.
Myers?
Rogan, McFarlane.
No. That has
so many bad ones.
I know, yeah. That has the other late night show.
Green.
Rowan. Myers?
Or is it Myers? Seth Myers, maybe?
Yeah.
I think it's Seth Myers, yeah. I don't know what his ratings are like, but I've never watched an episode of his show. I mean, not that I would anyway, but yeah, the clips I've seen online just kind of, it's like, again, like the echo chamber, between
there needs to be
Kimmel.
Well, it's your money that pays for
Colbert.
it. Tax breaks and shit.
Oh, I know, I hate it.
That's the thing. You're paying for propaganda you don't watch.
Like the BBC, you mean?
Yeah.
Meat Canyon. If anyone's familiar with Meat Canyon's like channel, there needs to be an animation of any of those late night shows. There needs to be like a little tentacle that attaches to the back of them, goes all the way backstage. You can find they're all just an extension of this enormous globulous monster thing. And it's
that's what they are, because like, don't people put compilations together where it's like news anchors
they say the same fucking thing, yeah,
and it's literally verbatim the same statements, and like you play them all in unison. It's like some horrifying hive mind. It's
threat to our democracy.
I'll never fucking forget when CNN were talking about Joe Rogan, how he was sick with COVID and he was taking like ivermectin or whatever it was called, and they're like, oh, he's taking fucking horse paste, and they digitally altered the picture to make him look like he was dead, and it's like, motherfuckers, like, you just get away with this shit, don't you? Time and time again, you just put these lies out there and people swallow it. And what are the results? Like, people get radicalized into believing all this bullshit, and you guys suffer no consequences. Yeah, like, that era has to stop, man. It is nonsense.
Yeah, he called them out for it,
sync all those clips together. It feels like you're in a simulation. Like, it's like
The
Your
Matrix.
brain goes, what's actually happening in this world? And they have like 20 people say the exact same thing. It's fucking freaky.
But it's strange. You ask people, you go, are politicians liars? They go, yeah. But then they always believe the story we're given about the newest thing. It's the most bizarre thing ever.
Well, they believe news media, sadly. Or a lot of them do. The fucking boomers
But then you go, what do you think of journalists? And you go, they're all lying scum. And then they'll see something on the news and go, oh my God, we're all going to die. It's like, you just contradicted yourself, you dumb bastard.
Yeah, there's limits to their self-awareness. I do like as well, the CEO of Twitch has been called to appear in front of Congress on October 8th. Yeah, the thing is, like, he's been invited to appear. He does not have to go. He's not been subpoenaed or anything.
A lot of people were celebrating this information. The first thing I said was, it says invited, though. That doesn't seem very demandy, does it?
Yeah. And the thing is, they would straight up burn their company to the ground before they would get rid of Hassan Piker. Because he's like the only guy that fucking generates money for them. He is like one of the boys protected until the end.
But then you see him and they go, I don't condone political violence. And then you see a cut of him going, soak the blood streets red with their blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. Absolutely it's like 10 degrees beyond what you would have thought was acceptable. And loads of people have never seen these clips before.
Yeah. But again, it's like if he was a conservative saying that stuff about left-wingers, he would be in prison by now.
Oh, 100%.
But he's just one of the anointed ones and he just gets away with it.
Did you see he was interviewed in Australia this week on one of our political shows? And like the woman doing the interview, she's used to dealing with politicians and that. She was just reading out what he'd said in the past to him. And you could just tell he had like this written from a lawyer response to everything, just how it was another time and it wasn't serious. And she kept going back to going, yes, but you haven't answered the question, and she'd read it out again. And yeah, it was amazing. I'm sure my mum was completely confused about who was on the ABC that night getting interviewed, but it was interesting.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, guys like that, I just they are clearly they're clearly crossing that line and advocating for violence. And as far as I'm concerned, that's where you can't really use the free speech excuse. That's when you either have to be removed from your platform or face some kind of disciplinary action or potentially legal consequences, because you can't just do stuff like that and expect to get away with it.
The problem.
But like you shouldn't be able to. I mean,
they can choose who they keep on, bro. They keep doing all that fucking shit when it was in their interest to do it. That's the thing. Like Destiny, the sex pest, like he always recommends like people should get into like violence, but not him because he's like 5'3". But that's what they always do. All these people, that's what annoys me, is the absolute cowards. They vouch for political violence because they know they're safe and they're protected by like Twitch or whatever. They can say what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
You don't think Destiny could get his arm blown off and then climb back on a train and beat someone up? I mean, he could blow someone on the train.
The world's least intimidating man. It's fucking amazing. Yeah.
It's like a wet noodle.
He makes you believe there's more than two genders, because I'm sure he's not a man.
He might be the exception.
Let's see a couple of these here. Yeah. Call it what you want, but you and alt media outlets like Joe Rogan are the mainstream media now. It's just a different iteration. Love you all, but call a spade for fuck's sake. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're not news media. You know, we're just a bunch of guys giving our opinions about stuff, and that's kind of a different thing.
But you can tell with Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's irrelevant, so he must harvest the fame of other YouTubers. That's why he keeps inviting on everyone. Not to say like, you know, bad. Literally, just he needs other people to prop him up.
Well, as crazy as it is, I think it was XQC who said this, and I was like, oh shit, I think it's true. He's like the modern day Jerry Springer. He just wants everyone to come on and fucking yell at each other.
That's a good point.
Like,
That's a good comparison.
And yeah, it's like your dad showing up to a fucking, like, I don't know, a house party with you and your mates when you were teenagers and like trying to hang with the cool kids. You know, he's like this legacy media guy, but he's like in the YouTube space as well. He's like trying to straddle both of those worlds. It's a bit of a weird one.
Anyone gives like a slightly edgy opinion, he goes, "You're a racist. That's wrong." It's like your dad telling you off. Apart from that, everyone else is just fighting all the time, and he's just sitting there rubbing his hands off screen, going, "Yes,
Making money all the time."
I'd like to see the meetings with him and his producer. He's probably got this young producer that knows who's coming on each week, and Pierce is like, "Who? What's their name? Who am I talking to?" He's probably got no idea who he's interviewing half the time.
I mean, has he had guys
critical drinker? You say?
Yeah, who's that dickhead? Yeah, has he had guys like Hassan on? I honestly don't know if he's.
He had Destiny.
He's had Destiny on.
I know he's had Destiny on.
Yeah.
And he had the amazing Lucas this week.
Right, that's a name I haven't heard for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. He's popped up because he's making fun of Charlie Kirk, obviously.
Naturally.
It would just be more honest if he had a big red button, and every time he slammed it, it just went fight. Just came up on the bottom.
Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah. Fatality. He does the voice.
Let me do a couple of these here. Emperor Norton says, Drinker, from the other day, the correct version of Avatar to watch is the Nickelodeon cartoon running from 2005 to 8. Starts with The Boy and the Iceberg, arguably the best animated TV show of all time. Believe that. Yeah, people were recommending, obviously, that I watch Avatar The Last Airbender, but there's like 12 different versions of it at this point. So I was like, which one do I do?
Watch the original Nickelodeon one. It's on Netflix. Yeah. Do not watch the remake, which is horrendous dog shit. And do not watch the sequel, Legends of Korra, because the whole point is he has to learn how to master the 4 elements. Korra, in her first episode, goes, "I'm the Avatar. You got to deal with it." And she can do 3 of the elements when she's a baby. And I just went, oh, God, they raped the show.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Just the original animated one. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's good.
It's really good.
Worth watching.
What's this one? Every time you guys say pearl necklace, I hear ZZ Top. He wants a pearl necklace. Yeah, sure. All right. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with the super chats before we move on. Yeah, here's a question, actually. Is there a tipping point? This is probably in reference to The Witcher. Is there a tipping point where showrunners will eventually get shamed into following the source material?
No.
Probably when they're threatened with cancellation, maybe?
No, even then, like Lauren Hisrich, like she's took it off the fucking track and she's still going. Like these last 2 seasons are the best she's going to do. These are her swan song to the series. They're going to be worse. It won't just be Geralt, as you said. It'll be Yennefer and Ciri show. She'll double down.
I knew we were fucked when I saw Blood Origin, right? And I knew, like, this is when they're freed from the confines of the source material and they just get to tell the story they want to tell. And it was utter cat shit. And I was like, right, okay, this is obviously the best you can do from your perspective. We're screwed. Like, there's no hope for The Witcher because this is what you've been wanting to do the whole time.
Well, she wanted to do Rats, which was a Ciri-only show with a bunch of other kids, and the producers went, "This is so shit, we're cancelling it," which they almost never do. And that's the thing. It literally is just they get like it's the Rings of Power. Every season they go, "Well, we listen to your feedback," and they don't. They just make more mistakes.
What was that?
That's a lie.
What was that Game of Thrones spin-off that had like Naomi Watts in it? And it was so fucking terrible it never even got beyond the
Blood
pilot.
Moon or something like that.
Yeah. Wasn't that meant to be like the wokest fucking thing ever? And they were like, "Oh God, this is too much even for us. Like we're just not even commissioning this."
How bad was it? If they looked at it and said that, like,
I have no idea. We'll never know.
It was a feminist show called Blood Moon because a period joke. Yeah, and it was about like basically a female Lannister just beating everyone, queefing on people.
Didn't we get a trailer? Or was that a?
I don't think we ever got a trailer. No,
it was a pilot. They went seal this in a vault. That's
right.
Like that fucking the Ark of the Covenant. Make sure it's buried. And no
it's so dangerous. No one must ever see it.
Oh look! And all the producers just die as they watch the pilot.
And they did us a favor then.
Jesus. God. Yeah. It would have been good review fodder, I'm sure. But wow, yeah. Ethan Housley says, "Hey Drinker, was wondering if you planned on reviewing The Long Walk before Stephen King's dumbass comments." Oh yeah, that guy's got himself in hot water. They're talking about suing him now, apparently. It's actually a pretty good film besides the ending, but the book's ending wasn't good either. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it, actually. There's a lot of movie theaters are doing showings of it where you have to stand on a treadmill and fucking walk throughout the entire film, which I'm fully in favor of for all the fucking lard arses out there. We should get on that.
Yeah.
Imagine all the panting and heavy breathing and the smell after you.
That's in every cinema in Scotland, man. It's what we're like here when we watch movies. Oh, yeah.
Did he have like a stick above them with a little bit of string and popcorn and they're trying to chase it?
Donut.
I don't think popcorn would do it.
A bunch of curly fries, nachos with cheese. The dip.
Yeah. But no, I'm intrigued to watch it, actually. I kind of, I'm interested in the premise, like the trailers look pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll try and give it a go when I get the chance. Yeah, what's this one? Drinker, you famous mad. I'm a mad.
Fabulous.
Would you say that,
Fabulous mad.
No, famous. Would you say that the past 20 years, indie movies and show industry had nearly completely ignored their core audiences, compared it to the 80s and 90s beefcake era? Can you guys help me? What is this person
Would
asking?
you say the past 20 years in movies?
Indie movies?
Indie movies.
And the show industry.
TV.
Completely ignored their audiences.
Ignored.
You mean like Beefcake, like the actual actors that were labeled as beefcakes, like the good-looking guys,
like the 1980s action heroes?
Yeah, like Commando and Arnie.
Yeah.
Like Van Damme, right?
Did I ignore the audiences? I think people like that.
Yeah. I guess what they're saying is comparing it unfavorably. So it's like back then audiences wanted stuff like that, and then now they want stuff, but they're not getting it. And so Hollywood's just serving them up like propaganda, basically.
I mean,
the core audience then was just everybody. They made it was broad.
Yeah.
Well, muscle guys punching things.
All I can say is, like, if I was to, pick, my favorite era, or even just like, okay, go decade to decade and pick some of your favorite movies, I would have a field day with the 80s, the 90s, and to some extent the 2000s. Ask me to do the 2010s or the 2020s.
Just superhero movies.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So I think that says it all, really, about the movie industry. What's this? I watched two streamers who rated Demon Slayer movie a 6, criticizing too much backstory. I brought up how they thought Superman was good, and then most of their chat said that Superman was easily better. Lord help us. How the fuck is there too much backstory in Demon Slayer? Like, if anything, it suffers from a lack of it. Like, yeah, there's characters in that like I wanted to know more about, and I didn't get it.
Yeah. The writer said she had to kind of rush it because of family issues. She was going to even wrap it up even quicker, but someone went, no, push it back a little bit. So we got an extra arc. But you don't know half of the Demon Corps. Like, you barely know anything about them. You have a quick one arc, the village training arc, where you know a little bit about each of them, and that's it.
Yeah. And so, I would have happily taken a bit more, like, if the movie was a bit longer and we got more of these characters. But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was okay.
Yep.
So, I haven't seen it yet. I didn't really get in. I mean, I'm a big anime fan, but I didn't get into Demon Slayer. It's one of those animes I will go back and try to watch at some point. I had the same effect with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I couldn't get into it at first, and then went back, and I was like, okay, I can see the appeal, and I like it or enjoyed it for the most part. But I don't know what it was.
Easy watching. You can put it's just a classic show. You can easily put it on and enjoy it.
This one baffled me. I'd love to get a Severance or Invincible review. Cheers. I've done Invincible already. Look it up. You'd be surprised how many things I have
reviewed in my time. Season 2 and 3.
Well, I mean, do I have to review every season? Like, the show's good. Watch it. It's good stuff. And Severance, I watched season 1. I enjoyed it. I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
There's a whole other season, Drinker. Gosh, this loser.
Unless I review every single episode individually, it just counts for nothing, I guess. But I'd recommend both of those things, Severance and Invincible. Damn, St. Louis gave us $100. Thank you, my friend. You didn't even ask us anything either. It's just $100. But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, okay. I've put this off because I always put this off.
Oh no!
Right? It's time to talk Alien Earth.
Oh.
This show finds new ways to disappoint me with every passing week and infuriate me. And it's starting to feel like some kind of purgatory. Like, MauLer, tell me we're almost at the end. There can't be much
One more left, but I will say, like, because we end up saying every time we review it, me and Gary, it's like, oh, this was the worst episode. It's like, this was the worst one. You're like, no, seriously? You're like, no, seriously. It just keeps outclassing. And I can't believe it. I was blown the fuck away. You understand how much I do not like this show. I think it's absolute crap to the point where it barely even registers on the scale of quality of, like, writing. But they assassinated their main character.
They assassinate everyone.
How do you even do that?
Help me out here. Is this show actually a comedy? Right.
Yes.
If I just misunderstood it, is it just a goofy comedy and a parody of the Alien movies?
Apparently, I'm not understanding it. Have you been getting this one? When I say how it's getting more and more stupid, people explain to me that the children have children's minds, so it makes sense that it's stupid. I don't seem to understand it's the fucking writers that are stupid, not the child characters.
I am mildly brain damaged now, right, from all the drinking. But even as a kid, I was not as retarded as these people.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, kids even are capable of making decisions that make sense. These people are not. This is insane what happens in this show. The main character releases a fucking xenomorph that murders everyone because that's okay, apparently.
Mm-hmm. We're not worrying about spoilers, are we?
No, I don't care. No one cares.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one does care.
The fact that she just decided to kill everyone out of nowhere was blew my mind.
They committed the cardinal sin as well, right? One, they made the alien into a fucking dog now that just obeys her, right? It goes and it follows her command, right? And they show it in broad daylight out in the open, just stood there, and it looks so shit. It looks so goofy.
It'd be like on Jaws, they wheeled the shark up onto the beach and chased someone with it down the beach. It's just a guy in a suit.
There's a reason, like, things like the Predator and the Xenomorph, like in their original movies, they were shown in shadow, in darkness, and like the light just kind of glints off their outer shells or whatever. It makes them terrifying, right? The moment you have one of them stood out in broad daylight, it just looks so shitty. It just looks exactly like what it is, a guy in a really clunky rubber suit.
Well, even the CGI for the xenomorph sucks, though. Like in that last episode, it's hiding in the tree the entire time, and the way it lunges down, like if you freeze frame it, it looks awful. Like it looks like it was made by AI, like ChatGPT or something like that. Like, which I think they probably could have done a better job than what we got here in this episode, which is just terrible. And then the whole idea of changing the design behind it, going to a more shortened, like crouch over a quadruped, like who was it? Noah Hawley stated. Like, it's terrible. Like, I'm sure Geiger's rolling in his grave right now, going like, "These bastards, they fucking ruined my design."
He's rolling so fast, he's digging his way to China.
You mean Siam to go beat them the fuck up?
Let's be honest, that poor fucker's furious since like Alien 3 onward, It's been
when were
Look what they did to my boy.
Look at
when were they bulletproof too? There's things you just can't kill this thing. Doesn't matter like how many times they shoot it at like point blank range, the thing's fine.
And they're shooting it with pulse rifles as well. That's another thing that pissed me off. There's actual pulse rifles like from Aliens in this, 60 years before the events of Aliens. That would be like if the military today, like the US military, was still using fucking M1 rifles, or like stuff from World War II. It's absurd. But like they wanted it because it was recognizable. Yeah. Flintlock muskets or some shit.
Yeah, what's that bit at the end where Ginger Pubes is told to like get off the fucking boat and she just rips the guy's jaw?
Fatality.
You notice like
all
when
the
she gets her
security
hands
guys
on,
just watching.
Well,
Like,
Yeah,
they're all just
you know, she
standing
does
around
that to the guy, right? Like, fucking rips half his face off, and then she gets her hands on the black lady
She
and
bitch
does
slaps her.
nothing to
Throws
her.
her.
Like, yeah, just kind of gets her in a headlock, and then just
Not
waits
only
for
that,
someone to shoot her.
With the
Funny
music,
how that works, isn't it? It's almost like someone's protected by the fucking plot.
That woman gets like thrown 4 times. She's immune. Like there's loads of that in the show. But the thing that struck me as so odd is when she's shot and then electrocuted and she sort of falls over and apparently dies. I don't fucking know how it works with those things. The show seems to think I should be sad about it. I was like, she's a psycho.
Well, Wendy,
She is a psycho.
Dead.
And she
Wendy
was really,
smiling.
really disconcertingly ugly as well. And that's an important thing to consider.
She has like an anus face.
Like, they picked a young Kathy Griffin or something to play this fucking girl. Awful looking. And so I can't feel any sympathy for her.
I mean,
But as
no
MauLer
one
said-
looks good in that show. Like, no one's attractive at all. Like,
Well, as MauLer said, though, it's like you're supposed to feel sad for the girl dying. You have Wendy turn around going, "What did you do?"
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Joko.
killed the psycho before she ripped off more jaws, I guess. Like what?
She's on a
I like
rampage, and they've got 100 like guns pointing at them. If you don't stop her, they're gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
Not a one bullet was fired after all that.
And they
Yeah,
can't
what were
decide how
the
strong
rest
they
of the
are.
guys
Like,
doing?
They're just
What
standing
happened?
there.
They were too intimidated,
fucking
basically.
paused.
I think the bit that made me laugh the most was when the chest burster kills that guy, and then like the alien just skitters off into the bushes, and the fucking idiot android boy is like, "Where did it go? Where did it go?" And he's like rummaging through the bushes. Like, is this is a fucking Benny Hill skit or something?
Yeah,
Not only that, but
nothing beats when the face hugger came off and they turn around and the body's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Like they crouched down for security. They turn around, the body's gone. The face hugger came off him and he woke up, stood up and walked around and no one noticed, not the security going past, the 2 kids.
Well,
And when they
worse than
turn
that,
around and go, where did he go? It was Scooby-Doo.
the
It was
face
just...
hugger falls from the tree. I don't know why it was in the tree. It falls down from the tree, and he scream like girls. And the
Yeah,
that's
security,
not surprising, though.
And they're
security
stamping
team
on
don't hear
it.
it.
And not only that, but when after the chest burster has already happened and they decide to keep dragging his body, the next scene you see them, they've somehow built a fucking raft.
Yeah,
Like,
it's professionally made as well.
They tied sheep shank knots around a raft. They started
funny,
bringing the
yeah.
dead body in there, and then when they get seen by Morrow, and they say like, "You got to come with us." What do the 2 guards do? They just flop the body off in like a foot of water. Like the tide would have just taken his body out to sea anyway. Like it was so pointless as much as the show is.
Morrow
But
it's ambushed by Timothy Oliphant, and it's like, what the fuck is his plan? Because his plan can't be, haha, I was secretly loyal to Prodigy all this time, because
Right.
he caused so much unnecessary drama for nothing. He didn't have to let any of these things happen. But
20
now
people were just killed.
he released a
at least.
xenomorph. He released a fucking alien. He got one of
cares?
the Lost Boys killed.
And then
It's
when
like,
he has his little xenomorph, he goes, finders keepers. It's like, it was
Yeah.
fucking yours to
was
begin
yours.
with. What are you talking about?
Dude, the
This
best line in
show-
the whole show is when she sees the guy who's been melted and she says, "What the hell happened to him?" And they just go, "Science."
science.
Uh,
It is,
Well,
it is the
I've
best. It's the best
Like, we
dialogue in the
can't-
entire show. That
we
one
can't
line.
let Wendy tell the Lost Boys. We must get ahead of it, and they don't even bother to try and tell the Lost Boys. Boy Cavalier just talks to the eyeball alien instead, which is stupid.
the,
Well, the trackers have been turned off, but he doesn't say
Yeah.
turn them
They
back
have
on.
cameras in their heads.
Yeah, well, they got turned
you'd
off
think
or
if they're
some
being
shit, I don't know.
androids, they would have just like a remote kill switch or an immobilized switch for them. It's like, I press
Why
this.
can't-
It's like, okay, they have to stop where they are.
Why
They
can't you
build
turn
these
it back on?
superhumans that can just kill them all if they want to. Then they let one talk to the xenomorph, and they have no security. Well, they don't have any security on the island to begin with. But like you said, they have no kill switch. They have no way to turn these things off if it goes bad. It's just like, well, we're fucked now.
Yep.
Well, it's as you said. There's no security. Then this episode, there's a
Shows
fucking army. There's hundreds
Yeah.
of them.
Where have they been this entire time? Where?
Why do they breathe heavy when they're exerting themselves when they don't have to have air in their lungs? And like, why do they scream in pain when they get shot with like the stun gun when they don't actually feel any physical injuries?
Bad.
Why did
coding.
the Indian and his sidekick struggle to carry the body?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like they could
Because
lift
you only
like
need
5 of
one.
him.
Super strength
need
is
them
only
both, yeah.
convenient when the plot needs it to be, and it
Yes.
doesn't need to be in that point.
I can't believe this show got made. It's
So fucking
wild.
stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
The budget is over $250 million. It's more expensive than Shogun.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I get that it looks good. I can tell that they spent a lot of money on it, but why? Why did they take this script and think, oh yeah, this is worth investing $250 million into?
There's shortcuts too. Like the air vent last week just blew me away. That there's a human-sized air vent that you can just leave the high security lab in and just walk out with a face hugger. But then Vivian says, I don't know his name in the show, but Vivian, the sidekick of the Boy Wonder, he says this week that the xenomorph escaped through a waste pipe out of the same lab.
Yeah.
So there's an air vent and a waste pipe big enough going out of the lab for people to walk through.
The way they just they leave things unguarded, nothing is monitored, there's no fail safes.
Yep.
Everything is just, it's like a system that's entirely set up to fail. So of course it does.
Their lack of context and detail from their own writing is very apparent. I mean, even when we've been calling Boy Cavalier as like the bad or ugly British looking version of Timothy Chalamet. But when he puts pie on his hand and he's like, do you know what the next numbers are? And like it stomps down. It's like 1 is like, and so he, it goes through the 5 stops, but then he goes, what's the final one? And it takes a shit. Right. But the next number isn't actually a 2, which I thought they were being clever. It's not 2, it's 9. So they even skipped over an actual number or digit of pi that they probably didn't even remember.
It's way more than they did.
Oh, I know. That's the problem, right? Like we're creating and we're actually providing more justice than the fucking people that created the show.
Listen,
which
what
is
he
ridiculous.
says, the eyeball alien. He goes, do you speak
Tentacles.
English? And then he speaks German to it, and then Japanese, like a aliens can know what Japanese is. Then he goes, do you recognize these numbers? Like he's going to recognize a bunch of Arabic numbers.
Yeah.
It has no context. You might as well draw the fucking dog shit in your hand.
And then he's like, oh, we need to put it inside a human so I can talk to it. It's like, it's still going to be a fucking alien eyeball thing. It doesn't it's not then going to suddenly understand English.
Well, that's the thing.
It already does.
Well, I mean, it already does, yeah.
You could have
does it actually, though? Or is it just like...
Again, like creating too much a head canon for this is, like in the flashback episode when it goes into like the senior ship engineer, we're wondering is if whenever he inhabits another body, we call him Lord Tentacles, he's able to absorb whatever information, whatever sort of memory or knowledge that host has, and then he kind of accumulates. That's why he's intelligent.
When he's the engineer, he just goes and jumps on a xenomorph like a fucking animal.
Oh yeah, he might be able to speak it, but I think he understands it. Like he can understand what he's looking at. He can understand what he's speaking. Huh?
Why did he jump on the alien?
Oh, yeah, I think he doesn't. I don't think it. I think it's enemies with the xenomorph.
Well, but that's a really stupid thing to do because it just gets stabbed to death.
Yeah, because like if it's smart and it could absorb the host's memories,
it's exactly a stupid thing to do because it makes sense for this show because it's all stupid.
I see.
So it fits.
It also jumps. It jumps on the xenomorph's head, right? Like the xenomorph doesn't have eyes, so what is it really doing? And then the xenomorph pushed out and was running down the hallway, getting "Get it off me! Get it off me!"
Oh,
it's just like, dude,
we joked a couple of weeks ago, right, that the xenomorph was going to end up talking to Wendy and say, like, it would basically say, we must fight together because the humans are the true enemies or the true monsters or something.
McQueen.
Like, we've basically got that now. That's where we're at. That's where the show has gone.
Do you know what the episode 8 is called? The Real Monsters.
Oh God, humans.
Fucking Wendy.
I can't, man. I can't with this show.
Humans are the real monsters.
I can't believe Xenomorph. You can fucking talk a Xenomorph into being a pet dog.
Yeah. When it was looking through the bushes at the end at the boat, then it just turned away. It was like,
well, Wendy's brother started, no, we needed to rescue us
in trouble.
Next episode.
Oh God. Why?
She's Wendy Doolittle.
It's awful. It's so fucking. I was losing. I was having an aneurysm watching it with Gary. So I was just like, what a cardinal sin having an alien, as Drinker mentioned, like shot in full brightness, completely understandable in its movements, and talking to people and being like, "Yeah, I'm your buddy." And then she says, "Hey, alien, how about you just stay back, but stay with us and stay hidden, so you can attack the people who come after us." And he's like, "Sure," and he runs off. And it's like, what the fuck am I watching?
A thumbs up. The second she says go away.
You've essentially taken one of the most iconic and terrifying, nightmarish monsters in all of cinema, right? The xenomorph from the original Alien was the stuff of nightmares, quite literally. And you've turned it into a retarded pet dog.
Yep.
And even the worst film didn't do that. Like, even all the problems in the films we've had at least kept him like an alien.
This is on par with The Predator, when the predators are going like hunting for weaponized autism to inject into themselves or something. Like, this is the same level as that.
Leave these franchises alone, Disney.
Didn't Sigourney Weaver say, "I love that they're doing something different with Alien"? I'm like, you have not watched the show. You're a liar.
Sigourney Weaver will say and do a lot of things for the right paycheck. I think we've come to realize that about her.
Hey man, she's going to be a Mandalorian and Grogu. She's on the Disney payroll.
Yeah,
because I think she was like, for a while there was a kind of almost mystique around her, like, oh shit, Sigourney Weaver's agreed to be in this thing. Like, that's a mark of quality right there. And then she was in more and more things that were just absolute dog shit, and you realize she does not give a fuck anymore.
She was in Alien Resurrection, so
yeah. But at least she
which
was
is still better than this show.
I think, honestly,
but
it
it's
is.
not saying much.
I mean, it's a crazy ranking system because it's all shit, like in Alien, outside of the first two, basically.
Yep.
I'd say Alien 3 probably still clears. The thing me and Gary were realizing is like, wait, how much does AVP clear? Because AVP is better than this.
That's better,
The first one? Yeah.
Yeah.
AVP is better than Romulus.
Where would you rank this in terms of all the Alien products that have been shot out there?
It might be at the bottom. I'm not even joking.
I think it is. I think I would watch Requiem, Alien versus Predator Requiem, before I'd watch this again.
Well, it's so dark you can't really see much of it, but yeah, it's still better to look at than this, because you can see too much, especially with all the crossfades in this show.
Well, this has another problem of being a prequel. So as a prequel, it also undermines the other movies.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it to be a prequel. There never is, but with this show especially.
Except in the last fucking scene of the last episode, they'll be like, this was a disaster. It's all been covered up. Do you know where that creature came from? It's like, oh, it's some distant planet, I think. And it's like, we got any ships in the vicinity? There's one. It's called the Nostromo. And the credits fucking slam in. Like,
Well, they'll do a Princess Leia in Rogue One, and they'll do a digital Ripley.
I think they might, actually. I honestly think they might, where it's like, oh, we need to send another mission out there, and it'd be like, oh, who have we got? Well, there's this young warrant officer named Ripley.
Maybe that's why Sigourney Weaver said she likes her. She's digitally de-aged in the end of it.
Maybe.
And the check for $10 million turned up, and she didn't even have to go to set.
They'll have a digitally de-aged Ian, or a completely digital Ian Holm as well, because they've already proven they'll do that for Romulus.
Awful.
Yeah.
But like, what I don't understand is they went to a planet to get these aliens, went with all these aliens who seem to want to kill each other, and they have a completely different diet to one each other. Were they all just in the same area? Because they just
like that bit of the story would be interesting to know more about. Like that they actually captured all those things.
Yeah, I want to know how a bunch of incompetent retards like them managed to capture all these fucking apex predators.
Yeah.
When the previous episode, we were talking, me and Gary were like, how is it that there's bugs that eat machines and metal? How did that happen? And then they finally answered it in this episode. They're like, minerals. They must have evolved on a planet with barely any organic material. It's like, they are organic. Why would they have evolved as organic creatures to not consume organic material? What the fuck are you talking about? Everything that, what? I was just like, yeah, I guess that was it, you know? And then, of course, their fucking cage is made of minerals. So why can't they just melt through that?
Like, why did they just leave?
I didn't like it there. That's why.
He called himself Isaac Newton, and he was a fucking dumb bastard. Like, he tried to feed them through the hatch, which he rips off, and then he opens the door. Instead of just sliding the tray in, he walks in and goes, oh, gets startled by the sheep, and then gets fucking spat on by the flies.
Dude, when they try to argue that the sheep predicted all of that, it knew if you see a sheep bang a wall because someone comes up to it, you don't predict that everything that happened later it determined through a greater understanding of determinism in general. You just go, no, the sheep banged the wall because it was startled. That's what you would think. Dumb fucking show.
I do love this as well. Like, they originally went out with a fleet of 100 ships. They fucking
only one
died.
came back.
All retards.
All the smart people died, and we're what's left.
We've deployed every retard in the fleet, sir, and we've run out.
You have to add to the show how impressive the retardation is when they have canonically written half the cast to be retarded in universe. Like, that is impressive that it's still too retarded.
I like the black guy who was on a ship and now he's a Marine. He's just changed jobs. Blamed the Indian kid for the plan not working. And the plan was get one of the xenomorphs out. And that was the extent of the plan. And somehow it didn't come together.
Well, it was like intentionally infect a guy, right? And just hope that you can get him to our rendezvous point before the chestburster kills him. And then act really fucking surprised when 2 children weren't able to accomplish that incredibly difficult.
And they nearly did. That was so close.
Yeah. They were close. They weren't given a time frame. Like, hey, you gotta be quick with this.
Considering the time frame, they probably should have been successful. And it's actually insane that Morrow nearly got it. If they had come with like a fucking portable freezing device or some shit to capture the alien immediately, which they do have as far as we can tell, and he fucking chest bursted way closer to him, and they got it and left. What the fuck was Kirsch's plan? He's gonna be like, oh shit. Well, like, I guess they got it. Damn.
Well, he's like Thrawn. It's all part of my plan. All these mistakes and fuck ups, they're all part of my plan.
100%.
Losing 90% of my forces. Yeah, it's just exactly as I predicted.
A xenomorph out in the wild.
I hate that shit when there's just complete fucking nonsense for a full 3 hours and then they just have a character go, yeah, that was all my plan. Fuck you.
Yep.
Well,
he's going to pull that next week.
Every alien film says we can't let these things get back to Earth, and that was the fucking stakes. But now it turns out a bunch of retarded children was enough to stop a xenomorph outbreak. And then they start another one with Wendy, and then they're going to stop her again.
Yeah.
She decapitated a xenomorph with a paper cutter.
Yeah.
I mean, was his plan to have a xenomorph still running around the island that could still, by the looks of it, kill the whole island? It takes out 20 people in about 2 seconds. So is that part of his plan too?
Well, if he doesn't die, he'll fly off and go, all part of my plan, and just smile at the camera.
He joins Wayland. He might be a double agent that Boy Genius isn't privy to.
I don't know what his plan is. It's contradictory. Every episode, he's like, I'm against Prodigy. And then this episode, always, I'm for Prodigy. Make your fucking mind.
He's playing the game. He's playing the game.
What game? He's got a load of people killed for no reason.
He's a chaotician. He's letting everything happen so that he can just see the chaos unfold before him. Like, when he sees, who is it, Smee and Slightly, or whatever his name is, with the body, with the face hugger on it, Arthur, right? He could have said, you might not make it. You might want to put it in a cryo chamber and get it to your destination, right? Like, but he didn't. I guarantee you he was aware that they were running out of time, but he probably just let him gamble with it. Like, nah, go ahead. Let's see if you get there in time. And they didn't. Obviously, they were close. But again, he still lucked out because he probably knew that the chest burster would happen and that they would then catch another xenomorph, because he knows after that incident in the lab that, oh shit, Wendy can control this one, but can she control the other one? Because if not, we might actually have little verses of Wendy's xenomorph versus Kirsch's xenomorph, or Board Genius's xenomorph, sort of like the blackhead versus the whitehead.
Is it just Jurassic World Dominion, where we're going to have retarded dinosaur weapons? We're going to sell them when we have fucking machine guns and missiles.
Yeah.
Why would we have any of these aliens?
Yeah. The only time an alien would be useful, right? The xenomorphs as a bioweapon would be if your if your enemy inhabited an entire planet and you just drop these things on it and let them infect the entire planet. But then that's it. The planet's overrun forever and you're never going to get rid of them apart from like nuking the entire thing. Right. And so it's like it's the ultimate like fucking destroy everything kind of weapon.
Well, it becomes like a nuclear weapon. Well, the problem is it becomes redundant, like nukes. Like no one can use a nuke because if one person does, everyone does. So you'd have to like genetically engineer it so like it kills a bunch of people, reproduces, but then after like 4 fucking generations, it dies out. It's infertile.
Yes.
Yeah, or like you have a custom gas that you can release onto the planet that kills them all.
Giant ass shows up and farts on the planet. And they all
Hell yeah.
There was an interesting, like, the original screenplay for Alien 3 was going to be something like that, where like 2 different factions were fighting for control of the xenomorphs as like this ultimate like bioweapon, basically. And it became like a Cold War standoff between them where they both have them, but neither side can use it because then it's like Armageddon. And it's like there was a lot of potential there, I think, to do something with that, because it's like you're taking what they tried to do with Alien 2 and just like ramping it up to like its logical conclusion. Like, okay, what if both sides do get a hold of the xenomorphs? What do they do with them then? You know, but we never got that version, and we got the horrible, depressing shit Alien 3 instead. But hey,
I like that they've taken away any interest in it. They have acid for blood too. Like, was it Alien 4? They got 2 captured or 3 captured, and they sacrifice one to get out.
Yeah,
they stab one so they can.
A lot of people
burn the acid through the floor.
Talk about that moment being something they quite like. I thought it was really stupid that the scientists put them in a cell that was vulnerable to the blood that they knew they had. Like, okay.
I mean, I suppose you wouldn't really think animals, like say you penned a bunch of animals in a cell, you wouldn't think they would have the intelligence to like kill one of their own in order.
You wouldn't need
escape.
to though. Any kind of wound or anything, they could go mad from being enclosed in a little box and hurt themselves. You never know. It's contingencies, right?
Yeah, you'd think at least the cell would be acid resistant. You know, I think that was one of the only things that Alien 3 did right, where apparently the soldiers that you see at the end are wearing like acid resistant armor because they're specifically brought in to wrangle a xenomorph. It's like, okay, fine.
There's a couple of things to praise about Alien 3, especially the assembly cut. I hate to admit it. It's true. It's still the 3rd best. It's just, you know, there's loads of shit in there too.
Yeah.
The other, well, there's a lot of bad parts, but just seeing how poorly Sir Isaac Newton handled his whole scene, where, again, there was a display of forgetting how much strength he has, where he could have easily held that door open with one hand and then just slid the tray in or dropped the tray in with the other hand and then shut the door, because he ripped off the hatch to begin with. So he's not that competent or strong to hold the other door open. Not only that, but in this episode, when the 2, I don't know, security guys, whatever, come there with cattle prods and just start the bugs, and then they're back in their
that was so annoying. The
That's
plot controls whether or not those bugs like have any fucking intelligence. Because when those guys came in, I was saying to Gary, like, "Uh-oh, they're about to get fucking killed." And it's like, nope, they got him. They're like, "Oh, okay."
I thought they were going to die.
My favorite line was in there where the boy genius went, "Okay, so none of the kids in the lab then." It's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have had the kids in the lab to begin with, especially on their own, feeding the deadly aliens with no security around or anyone else helping.
It's always, yes, throughout this whole show, it's like, right, these guys consistently fuck up and panic and get people killed and do the wrong thing in every situation because they're basically children. But, you know, we're just going to keep using them because it's not like we've got paid soldiers or professional scientists or anything at our disposal.
Vulnerable, by the way, because they melt and eat machines. It's like, oh, damn. Well, that means the android's not immune, you know?
The butler, Eddie Hitler from Bottom, doesn't he kind of say, "Sir, these things are irreplaceable," and then when one dies, he's like, "Well, that's $6 billion.
Yeah.
He's not bothered.
Yeah.
But there's another terrible thing. Remember, Morrow downloaded all the information off the ship into his brain, and then we see Boy Cavalier in person makes a call to the engineer to sabotage the ship. Instead of using a proxy, he in person makes the call. Why didn't Morrow at the meeting say, "Hey, I've got video footage of him sabotaging the ship"?
They have to have that. I don't understand how they wouldn't. And then maybe they're just like, "Yeah, we know you fucking did it. We're just going to attack you anyway." Which now they I mean, they've captured all of their men. I don't know what the fuck. This show is so useless.
I can't stand how Boy Cavalier tries to be eccentric, so he puts his feet up on the fucking table.
He spreads
He
eagle
doesn't-
all the
It's
time.
spread open wide. Like, that's not exactly a manly
how he got the role.
pose, is it?
I love as well in this show how like they've never accounted for inflation or anything, so like $6 billion is still treated as a vast sum of money. It's like, man, at the rate that money's depreciating, that'll buy you like a fucking cheeseburger in this point in the future.
I was confused about that when they like strike the deal. I was just like, is that even a lot to these people? They deal in like quadrigibillion.
Because what did they settle at? $50 billion, I think it
Something
was.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not 50 billion. The Starship alone wouldn't be 50 billion, plus all the streets it crashes into and those towers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The buildings that are going to fall at any moment still, which
The
haven't fallen.
thousands of people it's squished, all the families, their medical bills.
Fucking show, man, honestly.
How would you even move? He's like, I want my ship back. How the fuck are they supposed to pick it up and move it?
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll give you 500,000 tons of Starship then. Like,
Yeah.
where do you want me to drop it?
You just got one crane, the small crane, picking it up and moving it.
Yeah.
Piece by piece. We're taking it
That was
apart.
a way
and
for them
get-
to try and
assemble it.
get out of that, by the way. How enormous the ship was, and they were like, don't wake up the rest of the crew. It was just like, oh, so there's only like 10 of you. I see across this enormous thing, but all right.
There's no one piling it. You'd think there'd always be a pilot, and yet the bridge is just empty.
Well,
This
it's like a science
gigantic.
expedition crew or something, right? So
Well,
you'd think there'd be a hell of a lot more than that.
None of them are scientists. Far from it.
Nope.
I'm a fan of their doctor who has a higher kill count than the alien.
What does he lie? He goes, the captain's dead. I made a small incision. You come in, and he's hacked the tail off. Like, you came
And
at him with
his reaction is just like, oh, it's my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
you
sorry,
just
I melted
fucking
the
killed
captain.
the captain
Whoops.
of your ship.
Captain's dead.
He goes, we, and the woman goes, He goes, fine, I killed the captain.
That's
Oh,
wild.
what a fucking... The guy's called Chlamydia. Why?
What were they going to be doing on the island if they didn't get the aliens? Like, I expected to see training of these kids. Like, there's the big deal about making all the kids, but then they're just hanging around now. Like, they just...
The butler does
Like, you
say
think-
you're going on show. So as you said, yeah, like they
Yeah.
are going to showcase them to the world. But as you said, they're not training them. They're not getting them ready.
Nope.
They're kind of just
think you'd
endangering
have-
their lives.
Yeah, like scenes of them in the jungle with a teacher teaching them how to use their bodies and, you know, how to control things and this and that. It's like, there's none of that. Just they're just hanging around now, and now we're onto the alien story. It's just, it's a weird combo.
Well, that's
Well,
what
it's like
Timothy Oliphant should have done. He went, well, I'm a synthetic. You're now in synthetic bodies. It won't move the same. I'll show you how I move.
Yeah.
And you get a mentor role, but we don't know anything about him. So
Well, the show's still never really worked out what they want him to be. He's just
Yeah.
kind of there,
There.
like so many of the characters in this fucking thing. Actually,
I mean,
I do like that they wiped the redhead's mind. Then they let Wendy
God.
tell her that they'd wiped the mind instantly, and she's instantly back to the same character.
yeah.
Maybe
lost your
stop
mind even
Wendy
faster.
telling everyone what's happening.
well, they go, none of the kids can know, but we'll bring Wendy in. And then Wendy goes, I'm going to tell the kids. And they're like, we must get to the kids before Wendy. And they don't. They don't even try.
Yeah.
But when she's walking out, she talks to the alien. Like, what'd you say? It's like, oh fuck, she's talking to the alien. It's like you're meant to be the smartest person that's ever lived, and you didn't plan for this.
Oh, fucking hell. He's such an idiot.
Well, like
It-
she
Sorry, go on.
has the memory, right, of her being pregnant, which is, you know, comical, of course. But the idea of her having that experience when she was younger before she transitioned to the synthetic obviously implied some weird science, I
I
guess,
didn't
if you
think it was
will.
the memory. I thought she just thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, I thought that too.
She's on a
Well,
metal
that's the
breakdown.
thing, right? Like, if she's imagining things and she's creating these illusionary ideas, then it's like, where is she getting this idea from? Because no one else on the island has talked about getting pregnant, talked about pregnancy. You hear Arthur talk about low sperm count, of course, and that Wendy thinks boobs are weird, but we don't hear or see anything else about any other, you know, ideas of what pregnancy entails. especially from the redhead. So
well, Wendy goes, boobs are weird, and if you've seen the actress, she doesn't have any.
Oh, we'll teach you how to manage those cannons.
Poor Kyle Chandler's daughter.
The redhead's talking to a doll the whole time. They're still going, she's going to be on show in a week. We hope she stops doing that, but we won't do anything about it. We'll just wipe her mind, but she's still crazy.
It'd be funny if they got the butler and he went, oh, there's one thing we overlooked. She's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah. Probably should have told you guys about that before.
And someone goes,
It's the Frankenstein story. They actually went and got evil brains, evil children.
Well, also, what about the other chick who wanted to be the favorite? Right, there's that episode, which is kind of give a creepy moment. Yeah, she just cries in this episode, and it's like, aren't you supposed to be the one who should? This would be like your opportune moment to go to Boy Cavalier and tell him what's happened. This is how you kind of get in his good graces.
Well,
but
she's going to help them escape next episode, so she can't do that because she's a good person, quote unquote, helping the alien releasing fucking Wendy.
I'm going to aid my sister, my lost boy.
Girls stick together and kill people with xenomorphs.
They're just going to throw in the girls going to say the boy's quote.
I hope they kick Boy Cavalier to death, and his face is like a mashed apple.
People are so thrown by pretty filming, like shows that look good. Because when you have a go at this show, and like, well, I'm experiencing this, people are shocked that you don't think it's great, and they're shocked that you think there's any problem with it. It's just
this like, same fucking thing happened with Alien Romulus. People watch that and like, oh wow, it looks a bit like Alien. Like it's got to be good then, right? It's like, did you actually like pay attention to anything that happens in the script, or did you just like look at the images while you were glancing up from your phone occasionally?
Well,
that's what it comes down to.
Because you know the that's why we have that kind of dialogue where you'll see a chest, that pod where the alien came out of the guy's chest, and we can all see what it is, but someone has to say someone's had their chest ripped open, because they know people aren't watching.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird when you got a show, and the best way to improve it, it's an Alien show, is to remove all the references to Alien. Like if you just had the island and the kids and the sheep and the alien, it could be an interesting story.
Oh, I agree.
You'd get away from Alien, and it could be good.
Well, because
but that's not a good selling point for an Alien show. That the best thing to do would be to remove any reference to Alien.
The moment you do bring in the references to Alien, you just invite comparisons, and the comparisons are always going to be terrible. Because that movie was infinitely smarter, and all the characters in it were infinitely smarter than the retards that are in this.
But they're leeches. They need that comparison. They need any sort of brand recognition, because you wouldn't watch if this was called like, I don't know, Earth Invasion or something. Would you watch it? We'd all stop watching it. Well, they need xenomorphs.
Even the stupidity of the kids, it annoys the fuck out of me, because kids get scared and go hide under their bed or want protection. Their stupidity is to walk into cells with monsters that can eat you, and
then die in the process.
It's just pure stupidity, not childish innocence.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it to your point, Reaper. Like, it's a problem that they're showing the xenomorph too much. Like, if they wanted to actually excel and do something different, bring in the xenomorph at the end. Don't like we've seen it a lot. We've seen it enough, honestly. And it's no offense to the xenomorph design or creation of it, but this would have been the opportune moment to actually put the focus around these other aliens and have them be in it more than these actual synths are. Like, again,
but
like
they don't want that. They don't care. They're like predators using sweets to get you in the van. That's what the alien is. The alien is just candy.
I mean, we got that scene a little bit though. Episode 3. But yeah, it's unfortunate because again, like I don't think Noah Hawley and I can't think of the other person who does a lot of the writing understands this IP enough. Like, and before the show started, like I don't know who else here has watched all 5 seasons of Fargo, but I thought obviously the first season of Fargo is amazing television, but I think the Coen brothers had a big part of that. Seasons 2 and 3 were pretty good as well. Season 4 was not good. Season 5 was pretty meh. Kind of had a little bit of woke tones to it. But I just don't think Noah Hawley understood how to write an alien IP oriented show that doesn't have to focus so much on the xenomorph and proving to people that this is about the Alien IP. Like, and I understand you want to maybe broaden your horizons and maybe at the end bring the xenomorph in, but we're seeing it too much. We're seeing it being ripped apart in the IP and the lore with it being a pet dog now. It's honestly just it makes the other films that are considered worse and that we've all dogged on quite a bit for years seem like they're good movies. And it's I'm sure some of us might go, it pains me to say this, but Prometheus is might be a lot better now, unfortunately, because it's like you lower the shit bar.
Yeah, it shows how low we've got. That now we're looking back going, that wasn't so bad after all. That's what happened to the prequels.
Is this like a genius plan? We're going to make all our old films good by making the new films so shit.
It's the new meta. There it is.
George Lucas started
slap
it.
a bunch of adverts on the old movies and just drive people towards them, like make a bunch of revenue from it.
George Lucas started this. He went, "You hate the prequels? Well, fucking, I'll show you how bad I can get. I'll sell it to Disney. You're gonna love the prequels."
Who's laughing now, huh?
He's thought about that. Like,
it's the same thing. It's like Alien 3 is not as bad. Terminator 3 is not as bad as compared to like fucking what was it? John Connor got shot in a new one.
Absolutely.
Dark Fate.
Given it like splits really well. You got 1 and 2 fucking masterpieces. 3 and 4 like there's stuff in there, and then the next 2 are like the worst things that's ever happened to a franchise.
It's terrible.
Same with Alien. It's like Alien 1 and 2, superb. 3 and 4, pretty fucking crap. And then what do you have then? Alien versus Predator, both of them just absolute trash movies. And then the modern era, like you got the Prometheus and then Covenant, pretentious garbage.
Christ. And then Romulus.
When it's just we've run out completely of ideas and we're just gonna rehash a bunch of stuff that you remember.
And now this, which is just mental retardation.
Yes. So we have reached the end point culturally of what the Alien franchise can be.
You know, even the old trash, like sometimes they went too stupid, or you had a sense they were still trying to entertain the audience. They mightn't have done a good job. They tried to be
fun.
Yeah. With this, you're like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, it's hard to work out what they were actually trying to do.
Well, it's great the way you said that as well. It's like sometimes they went too stupid, and then Disney was like, "I think we can go stupider."
Yeah, he never go full retard. They went full retard here. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that the Predator franchise was doing, right? Like when Prey came out, it's like, okay, well, what happens here? And then we got Killer of Killers, and the fact that they just retconned Dutch of all people, all characters. Frozen in time, utter disgrace. Right? We called that shit. Like it's like they're gonna go back and we're gonna have another cutscene. Well, they went back just to redo it.
Naru's in it as well, isn't she?
Yeah, Naru.
Like we definitely need more of her fucking best hero ever.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if this is like a made up memory in my head, but you know the end of the Predator, he gets that mech suit.
Yes.
It's like incredibly cringy. Wasn't there like a thing of that was originally going to reveal either Ripley or Dutch, or it was going to open up, it was going to have like a legacy character to be like, oh, what does this mean? Find out next film.
I don't know. That's a good point.
I could have sworn, and then they opted out of it because it was just like even too cringe for them.
They should have just got like Iron Man to show up, and he goes, yeah, it just completely changes franchise. But they got the next one as a Predator Badlands, and it's a little runt Predator with horrible dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And then you've got a Weyland Yutani. She's super strong, so she's running around like a spider, tackling people.
But then it's like the Chewbacca 3PO thing, right? Like she's going to have, or it's going to have the android on its back and battle like ginormous. Like, what's that?
It is that, but she's going to be saving him because already,
for sure.
Trailer, a dinosaur goes to attack him and she kills it off screen with no legs.
But strongest triple ever.
It's going to be the same level as Alien Earth, isn't it, in terms of retardation?
Yeah. That's my expectation already.
They did the backpack idea in their fourth Alien film too. One of those characters.
The disabled guy that was like strapped to his back. Yeah.
Yep. So we've already seen it before.
Well, you see a bunch of Weyland Yutani. You see a bunch of Weyland Yutani like aliens, and this best not be the planet this Alien Earth got them from. because in the trailer you do see them, Weyland Yutani, they've got alien specimens. So I think they might try to link it up with Alien Earth.
Oh God.
You see Morrow going, and they're failing to get the alien in the cup. You see a bunch of retards trying to capture aliens.
I mean, I don't think anyone would be surprised if a Yautja shows up in Alien Earth. I mean, my fear is that they're going to go, you know what? We're giving you a second season, guys. We're not going to cancel it. And then the Yautja will show up, and then they'll tie it to Badlands somehow or something retarded.
Well, Noah Hawley said, we hope it gets a second season and maybe a third, and we hope it goes all the way to 5 and 6. And like, what?
Why do you hate us so, Noah? Why do you do this to us?
Oh man.
You know how a lot of this started because in the second Predator film they had the alien skull in the background, and that was just a bit of fun. You just if a guy got a time machine, you just see him about the guy thinks, oh, this will be a cool little Easter egg. This is a cool little idea to put this. You go back in a time machine and just stop that guy putting that skull in that scene. Just go, don't do it.
Yeah, just like get the chloroform over him and just be like, shh, just go to sleep. Don't think about this anymore.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're unleashing.
Yeah. See, you're taking us down a bad path. I just wanted to answer this one, actually. Drinker, a nitpick on the pulse rifles. Often military designs remain in service for decades. Like, for example, the M1911 was a US Army sidearm for 70 years. Yes, that's true. That's a pistol, though. The M16 was introduced in 1964. The M2 in 1933, both still in use today. Cheers. The M16's not in use today. Surely that's been replaced. And the thing is, we're talking about frontline, like assault rifles or like the main battle rifle of your military force. Those things get updated pretty regularly. Like things like sidearms, okay, like the technology there is not going to advance too much.
Well, even because there's videos on this, I think the M1911 is been replaced as well. It's one of the longest running. It lasted fucking ages. Reliability.
It was in service for so long because one, it was really powerful, and two, like it was super like simple and very, very.
It has like
reliable.
one of the best records on misfires, right? Like it's just insanely fucking reliable.
Well, there's practically nothing in it, and so there's not much that can go wrong, which is obviously ideal. Same with like the AK-47. Like it's such a simple weapon. It's designed to be used by complete retards that can't even do joined up handwriting, but it doesn't matter. Because it can basically it can't break. Like you can fire it underwater, you can get it clogged up with dirt and stuff. It'll still work because that's what it's designed for. But yeah, like when you're talking about your main battle rifle for a super advanced military, like the Colonial Marines, I would imagine they update their rifles pretty often. You know, at least every decade or so.
Technology accelerates. Like when a jet engines come in, then we're using jet engines, and they're still proper propeller
this is a prequel,
planes, but.
And their pulse rifles had additional fire modes on it. They can shoot stun shots as well. And I was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, why do you have better pulse rifles in the past? What's going on?
Well, that's worse because the gun Morrow uses is on a ship that's 65 years in the past, which is just before this show. And then you go another 70 years to Aliens. So it's actually 135 years.
It doesn't. It's just, I can't.
And what benefit was it making it a prequel? Well, how have they benefited?
Was the remind me? Romulus is in the timeline, of course. Romulus comes before this show, I believe.
No, it comes after Alien.
Romulus is
before
just
Aliens.
Yes.
Okay, so
what is it like 10 years after Alien or something
like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
And
so
none of it's necessary.
Oh, for sure. But look at that assault rifle that what's his face? I can't think of his name. Uses in that one scene where they're all like kind of falling in slow motion. It's like the auto tracking, like auto aiming pulse rifle or assault rifle. Like
that shit is like way in advance of what the
look how advanced that is.
Half a century later,
and what we have here in Alien Earth.
That was trying to get round the girl boss accusations. Well, she's not a girl boss; it's auto, but it doesn't fit the universe.
It's playing with the controller. It's all right.
St. Louis also gave us another $100 here, saying hail to the bar and hail to the chats. Well, hail to you, my friend. Oh, cheers and Slanjavar.
Hi.
How about we answer a few super chats actually, since we're here, because I honestly can't, my brain can't take any more discussion about Alien Earth. It's fucking retarded.
You got one more episode.
I know, that's it. I honestly never want to cover this fucking show again for the rest of my life.
But then you got Aztec Batman, where Joker's going to be going, Don't sacrifice children to the gods of Batman.
Marksman says, Drinker, I recently rewatched your Starship Troopers vid, and I have to say, you need to do an update because it's fallen for the same misunderstanding. Starship Troopers is not a dystopia, it's utopian. Watch it for what it is, and you realize the film is in fact an unintentional love letter. Feral Historian has a video called The Federation, It's the Same Picture, comparing how Starship is just an alter-utopian version of Star Trek. I mean, Paul Verhoeven straight up said it was meant to be a critique of fascism. Like,
yeah, but
movies,
he's retarded. He made it
100% retarded, yeah. But like, I'm not here to dictate on what you actually get on screen. It's more like, what was the director's intention there? Like, that's what it was.
The film, you separate him out because like the film is not what he says it is. I'm sorry, he made something he didn't realize because he adapted too much to the point where you watch it. Because I felt the exact same way once upon a time. And I think it was because of Red Letter Media. And then I like watched the film and did what that super chat said. Like, take it for what it is. Don't just ignore and clean slate any other influence or any comments from the director, anything anybody's ever said. Just watch it. And it's like, this universe isn't that bad. Like, it's kind of cool in a way.
You have to be in the military and potentially die for the right to vote. So it's not.
There are loads of different ways you can earn the right to vote. Remember, service guarantees citizenship. It involves many things that don't necessarily include going to die in a war against bugs, which, however, is not that dishonorable or horrifying in the sense of like you're working with the whole civilization to maintain humanity. Yeah. I don't know. You get the whole Buenos Aires event. It's like I feel like there's a lot of honor and courage with how a lot of the soldiers want to fight. It's like you're not forced to do anything.
I think what you're saying, MauLer, is you're deep down you're a Nazi at heart.
I've been convinced.
All I'm saying is give it a chance, okay?
I love that movie exists the way that it does because it really helps the death of the author argument. Fuck the director if he says any particular nonsense about his film. You don't have to take that as canon or definitive, meaning.
I think I agree with the premise of what you're saying. I would say with a guy like Verhoeven, like he understands satire and he knows how to wield it effectively. I mean, this is the guy who did RoboCop as well. Like he understands how to do this stuff effectively and understands what he's trying to get across. So I wouldn't just discount him as saying, "Oh, he's some retard who doesn't understand the material."
I can with this one. I love RoboCop. I love Total Recall. I think he's a fantastic director at his best. I don't know if you've seen what he's been doing recently.
No, I don't want to watch his recent stuff.
But no, Starship Troopers, and I love what he brought to Starship Troopers. It's a fucking fiction movie. He's just wrong about what it means.
He suffered from like Stephen Kingism because the problem is he might have been fine back then, but now in his hyper political like environment, maybe he's just gone off the edge.
It could be a little bit.
Like, because sometimes when he made it, he could have been more self-aware, but now Trump broke his brain or something, and he's like, "Down with fascists." So
there's way more going on in that movie than he gives it credit for, and a lot of his scenes that he directed to go one way can be easily interpreted in another way. It's the conversation always comes to that guy who's like crippled at the reception, so to speak.
Yeah.
The two completely
that is 100% open to interpretation. I think you gave it an extremely charitable interpretation.
I disagree. You'd never say that if it were real life. You'd never say it in real life. You're saying it because you know the context of the movie. If you saw that guy in real life say it made me the man I am today, you wouldn't say, "Ha, loser, you got crippled." You'd be like, "Oh, I respect that. I understand what you're saying."
I mean, if I was about to enlist and I saw a guy like that and he's like, mobile infantry. That's how I ended up like this. I'd be like, maybe the mobile infantry isn't for me.
But that's a good thing. It's like, don't sign up to this shit if you're not ready for this to potentially happen. But it doesn't make you any less of a man. That's like the point. That's why I find it so like strong. It's a lot more interesting than even Verhoeven realizes.
No, I think so. Basically, the takeaway from this is I need to make another video about Starship Troopers.
We'll just give it another rewatch, and just I don't know.
I mean, look, I am 100% on board with the idea that it's a great fucking fun movie. That there's a lot to be drawn out of it from. So, like, I am, fully on board the Starship Troopers hype train.
I'm just saying, Radchek is like one of the coolest sort of higher ranking guys to have on any mission ever. I would take him for God. You could fight Godzilla with that guy.
Yep.
Pac-Man says, it's a shame that Tyrion couldn't have shot Cavill's Geralt with a crossbow at the end of season 1, thus sparing him damage from the show's demise. Tywin ahead of the curve as usual. Just like he bailed out before the show got absolutely good dog shit. Yeah,
that does happen quite a lot. where a smart character dies and then the show just plummets. That reminds me of like Last Kingdom. When Alfred goes, it's like, oh, the show turns to shit.
We had so many smart characters once upon a time in Game of Thrones, and
did.
the ones that didn't die just became not smart very quickly.
I think best summarized by Conleth Hill when you read The Fate of Varys and just tossed the script. You're so insulted because he's arguably the smartest character in the universe and he dies being a retard. It's just like, oh.
Don't you have him as one of your thumbnails for like a Game of Thrones video, and it's like him on the beach when they've just washed up and he's like coughing or something, and he's just got this stupid like, oh, look on his face. Brother Volta says, Drinker, the developers for Out of Words are hosting an AMA on Discord on September the 26th. Care to join? I would post the link, but I can't do that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. So that was the one that we saw the trailer for a couple of weeks back. That's like stop motion animation, but in video game format. Looks neat. RRTNZ says, Hail Drunkazoids. Good name. Rather than cry for Robert Redford, let's celebrate his legacy and immense contribution to cinema. I just wanted to say, actually, on that, the amount of times, like, when people have done articles about him passing away, and they just show his fucking performance from, like, Winter Soldier as if that's, like, the hallmark of his career.
That's a shame.
Fuck off.
I'm always surprised when I see those images. I was like, oh, yeah, he was in that. Like, it's just such a... I was not a low point of his career, but just, like,
it's not a high point either.
Just so like doesn't stand out as part of his career.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I probably made a shitload of money from doing that. Didn't really ask much of me. Just stand around in a suit delivering some lines. It's all right. Reno the Turk says, on Real BBC, when all 5 women directors lost to the male director, Molly was like, haha, one versus 5, them. Fucking nice. Why is the director dressed IKEA prison on guard? What the fuck?
I don't know about the rest of that, but yes, he 1v5 them. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's like the universe is turned or flipped, because that clip couldn't have been funnier. The lead.
It was Elizabeth Banks, wasn't it? Who was
the way she went
5 women have been nominated.
And even all the women looked really uncomfortable with how she was putting it.
Exactly, dude. Yeah.
She is straight up a pariah, by the way. Like, I've heard
100%.
things in the industry. She's the only fucking person that nobody wants to work with. She is apparently a complete dick.
What we were talking about on Real BBC was like, and I feel like this happened once upon a time, but not anymore. If they just said the names and then announced the winner, boom, instead of being like, oh my, look how many women are here. Isn't it great that there's so many women? This has never happened to this many women before. It was
so like, condescending.
Yeah, and it sets everyone's minds to being like, oh, okay, I guess. Oh, so there's never, okay. And then you're like, and the man wins. It's like, why did you do it?
You just set yourself up for a fall there. M8566, what do you make of calls to boycott Disney amid the Jimmy Kimmel controversy? That is proper like fucking Godzilla shit going on there. It's like, just let them fight. In that case, you want to boycott Disney? Sure, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. You know.
Good luck.
Yeah. Reno the Turk. On EFAP, when talking about Filoni having had boned a dog, Frinning asks about picking an unusual animal. MauLer yells, a tapeworm. Best quote of 2025. How do you bone a tapeworm?
No, it wasn't. Oh, was it boning? I thought it was just like everyone picks a spirit animal. It's always like a fucking wolf. It's always a dragon. It's never anything weird or creepy. I was just like, imagine your spirit animal was a tapeworm.
Living inside someone.
Ragtag Muscle, what was the first movie you watched and thought that sucked, but no one else did around you? Mine was Avatar. I had less hope for humanity after. I don't know how other people perceived it, but as a kid, the first time I walked out of a movie theater was watching the Flintstones. I just remember being like, this is fucking horrible. I just want to leave. I'd rather just be at home doing nothing than watching this shit. And so I think I was there with my folks. I was like, can we just go? They're like, yeah, no problem. I don't know how everyone else liked it, but I fucking hated it.
I told you before.
I remember.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, really I'll stop now.
So, real quick, I was just going to say, because I saw Alien super young thanks to my dad, and like I said, I got that story of him being reluctant to show me Alien 3, presuming on my part that it was like too violent or something. It was like, no, it was literally because of the story. And that, I don't know if I have any memories going further back than that, where I was like viscerally hated the film I was watching, and it like properly introduces you to the concept that they can fuck it up just because you're watching something that's been made already. And you're supposed to just sort of have this experience of like, hey, that was a fun movie, or that wasn't as much fun. It was just a straight up, you fucked this up, and you didn't deserve to be able to get this job, that sort of thing.
We talked over each other with the same story. I was going to say,
oh really?
I was going to say the first one I can remember being shocked was Alien 3. I saw it at the cinema and came out, and friends of mine were just like raving about it, and I was still in shock from the opening, like just couldn't believe it. And it was the first time I can remember feeling like really kicked in the nuts about what they did with it, with a story.
Yeah. Captain Crunch says, Drinker, how often do you get recognized out in public? Is it annoying or do you enjoy it? And MauLer, has anyone ever recognized you from just your voice? I feel like it happens. It's happening more often these days, like maybe once every couple of weeks in the most random places. Like it could just be fucking walking down the road, like taking the dogs out for a walk or something. Like it happened about a month ago. One guy just stops his car in the middle of the road and just goes, "Oi, Drinker!" and then drove off. So stuff like that, it's random, but I don't mind. Like every time it's happened, like the people have been super fucking friendly and nice. So yeah, it's all right.
Is it like Superman? They don't recognize you until the sunglasses come on.
Yeah.
I've never been recognized for my voice in public, as far as I know, anyway.
Interesting. Jacob says, MauLer quote of the day: "Lock balls, you flisms." I mean, that's a pretty good quote.
Something I said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Blue says, Nick covers masculine themes on Mondays. Boy, we saw how they treated Geralt in his own show, didn't we? Great channel to discuss what we used to have. There you go. You got an endorsement there from Blue Collar Loser.
Thank you, Blue.
He also says, is Jimmy laughing now that it happened to him? No, it's only funny when it happens to the other side, of course, don't you know? Will Dreamer, Peak MauLer, Benediction Crumble Bunch, Ben D Straw Cumber Chunks, Benny Dum Dum Bull Crumble Bumble, Benny Dingo Cabbage Lad, Burner Her Kerberder. Took 6 hours to find these. I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you get one like every 5 minutes or something in my Multiverse of Madness video. I tried to space them out.
Yeah. I think the Taskmaster ones were still my favorite to this very day. They were just some great ones. Toonie Boy says, I have heard that someone I know is joining this stream. Said that like every sequel bait. Wow, who could that be? I wonder. Dutch Gradient says, Drinker, you should make a crash and burn on Henry Cavill, but it would be more of a terrorist hijacking, forcing him into the side of a mountain. Will he survive the crash that clearly wasn't his fault? Just an idea. I would just feel bad about that because the Crash and Burn series has got such a negative connotation now. It's like, people who fucking deserved it. It's like, nah, I don't want to do one on him yet. That would be unfair.
Well, you can make it sound nice.
Sorry, he's so into the nerd stuff, he'd probably come on the show.
Yeah,
he'd probably be part of the video.
People suggested things as well, like Harvey Weinstein, and I'm like, yeah, but the Crash and Burn series is almost like meant to be kind of fun and amusing and stuff. And with him, if I was to try and go into all the shit he did, it'd be like, oh no, I just feel horrible and dirty.
Depressing.
Now. Yeah, it's like, you know,
and he had a horrible penis, and his testicles were removed. You enjoying the video?
Yeah.
What's that? A red dragon? We go, do you see? And you see a bunch of naked Harvey Weinstein. Do you see?
Eatman says Highlander is the GOAT opening to a show. Best me. So the Highlander TV show. Fair enough, yeah. Rossi says, hail my dude Nick from The Plot Strikes Back. There you go. Rossi Short
King.
Cheers, man.
Henry's going to be in the new
Highlander.
He is, yeah.
He got hurt, apparently, on set.
How are they going to fuck him over with that?
Did he cut someone's head off and just go, and get a lightning struck?
You know who's playing the Kurgan? Dave Bautista.
That's right.
Is this like it's
That's
roided
right.
up or?
I don't know.
Because
Surely.
the Kurgan comes in and he looks like he's on like a breather machine and he's going, "You're going down."
Like fucking Ozempic Kurgan. It's like no one needs that shit. What's this? Drinker, you fabulous mad. Would you say that the past 20 years? Oh no, yeah, we got that
On
one
this
already. Yeah.
Oh, don't attempt that one again, please.
Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah. Yeah, Master of Puppets. Given how terrible Patrick McCain and JD Payne are at their job, who would you pick as showrunners for Rings of Power? Fucking anyone at this point. Are you going to make MauLer watch season 4 of The Witcher? Go on, do it. I don't think I'm even going to watch season 4 of The Witcher.
This is a rare one where I'll be like, you can try, but it would just be no point. I know nothing about The Witcher, and I haven't seen the other 3 seasons, so it'd just be weird. But I did watch Blood Origin for you, drinkers. So,
oh, you did that for me. Thanks. I shouldn't have made you do that because, man.
do you know, I never forget the story. Actually, it was when Metal was visiting, and like you told me, and I had like a day, and it was 4 hours, and I was like, well, like this is gonna be really fucking fun.
Sorry. Yeah, it was not worth it. But yeah, at this point, like I think we're getting like this with TV shows, aren't we? Where it's just like, if it's that bad and there's just no enjoyment to be had from it at all, what's the point in giving up like 10 hours of our lives to watch another season of a crap show?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, with
the time, no.
Alien Earth, it's like I'll see it through now. There's just one left.
I think as well that helps because there's fucking nothing else on at the moment. Like nothing worth covering. And so like that's our go-to. I think you described it as like, hey, I'm here. You can watch me. Like, yeah, but we don't really want to.
Well, there's Gen V that's come out. Gen V season 2.
I saw that came out last night. I would say the only good show that might be worth watching. I mean, I'm finding it to be really good is Dark Wolf, which is the Terminalist prequel show.
Yeah,
that's been good.
I've started it. Yeah, it's very much on par with Terminalist. Like, you know, a lot of Spec Ops stuff. It's decent.
Yeah.
Volcano snails eat mineral shells are made out of metal. Okay. Is that true?
All right, then.
Yeah. Snails in volcanoes? I can get
Well,
behind
wait,
that.
yeah.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's impossible for creatures to eat minerals. I'm saying that there's no way a fucking creature evolves on a planet with like no organic material as an organic life form. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
From like light years
And then
away.
putting him in a cage doesn't work.
Yeah, it's all stupid.
What if it ate glass on the planet it came from?
Little glass like bug as well.
I do like this as well. They should fire Bella Ramsey from Last of Us and recast her with Pedro Pascal. Why not? MauLer and Drinker, you're awesome. Keep up the good work and cheers. Like, I'd love that if like Pedro Pascal just shows up in a wig playing Ellie.
He's doing the John Rhys Davies thing where he's having to
with the
crawl
mustache
across the
still
floor to match the height.
Well, Bella Ramsey should have been an alien in this. She's the sheep butt in the wall.
Yeah, with like the bulging eye and stuff. Like, yeah,
They would have
like,
saved
you wouldn't
some
even
money
need
in
to have like
costuming.
prosthetics for her.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of the biking Brit that found himself in the middle of the Nepal Revolution and became a national celebrity? Crazy. I haven't seen that.
I think I heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
That is pretty cool. Mr. Chest, ask you on your solo live, but do you have a favorite Kurosawa film? By instinct, I'm concerned about Spike Lee's remake of High and Low. Yeah, Kurosawa. I mean, I suppose it's just going to be the basic bitch answer of like Seven Samurai. Yeah, like
I've
I'm
heard
not like
the remake of High and Low is awful, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Isn't it called like Higher and Lower or something?
Oh no!
Clever.
This time it's high. I don't know.
Too high, too low.
Yeah. Drinker slaying the 1958 lineup. Good year for genre film as well. The Blob, The Fly, and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, all released in that year. Cheers. That's pretty neat, actually. I love those 1950s like horror movies. They've just got such charm to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so creepy. I always get that
Yeah.
little creep vibe going.
Yeah. Yeah, what was the one that they did back then? It was the 1950s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Was really neat because it's just like it played into the whole like Cold War paranoia thing, and like so it's obviously like an allegory for like the Red Threat and stuff. But yeah, I think they did a pretty good job with stuff like that. Disregard says, any of you know a case where a trailer having a terrible dislike ratio actually ended up being good on release? I can't think of many.
Not off the top of my head.
Maybe Prey. I think that trailer got slated quite a bit when it was released because it seemed very girl powery. And then the movie ended up getting, pretty good marks overall.
It was definitely better than the trailer, the movie.
Yeah. Ethan Housley. Drinker, I was wondering if you planned on reviewing The Long Walk. I think we've been asked that one already, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about fat people on treadmills.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, which I'm always in favor of.
5DX.
More humiliation, please. 2-year anniversary for the Icelandic Filipino. Welcome aboard, man. Or great to have you here for the past 2 years. So thank you. So, remake of The Last Action Hero where a girl boss played by EFAP favorite Ruby Rose. Oh, Christ, I forgot she was a thing.
Yeah. She exists.
She was a big thing for a while.
Does she
The
still
Aussie?
exist? Yeah.
I haven't seen her in anything in a long time, honestly.
Do you know what happened? When the whole trans thing was happening, she came out and said, because as we know, she's a lesbian, but she's one of the ones we approve of, an attractive one. She said that when I was a boy, I was a tomboy. And they would have told, if I was a child today, they would have told me I was a boy. And she said all I was a lesbian. And I think people didn't like hearing that. So I think that didn't help her.
Yeah. You say the wrong thing. I mean, it's like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, I guess. And
she was a bit too honest.
Yeah. But it says enters the real world and is surprised that she can't defeat men twice her size. I honestly think there's something to be done with that. You could have
It'd be really funny.
Hollywood is not ready for that conversation, though. No. Fucking.
That's actually a good idea. I won't do it, but it is a good idea.
Yeah.
Have Ray come into the real world.
Oh God, that'd be amazing. Eatman Terminal List Black Wolf episode 5 is the GOAT fight scenes between a man and a woman. Everything Drinker and Mail It In MauLer asked for, no girl bossing.
Agreed.
What's
MauLer? Mail It In?
Mean? Damn. I guess I am.
That's how you just
I'm
got
like a
fucking
full power.
roasted, sir. Yeah, here. I asked Drinker yesterday what was and is everyone's favorite arcade game. Mine was Mortal Kombat 3 and Terminator 2. Great memories made at arcades.
I remember
you guys were too young for arcades.
Well, I remember one I went to at a fairground that was like The Simpsons, and you used to beat the shit out of each other. I can't remember what it was.
I mean, there's a lot of classic ones, I feel like, with like the old X-Men arcade game, the old TMNT one. Yeah. Street Fighter. Killer Instinct was another good one.
Yeah.
A lot of those like OG fighting games. I mean, obviously, like mentioned MK3, but yeah, those were all great.
I think fighting games were probably the peak arcade style game because it's like they were over really quickly, and so you could get the next game in.
Yeah, cycling through people.
Arcade. Yeah, exactly.
I just remember people screaming at the arcade because they lose.
100%. People spamming the button.
The pub I went to had about 8. Was it Daytona? Was that the car driving one? They had about 8 of those in a row.
Yeah,
next to the bar. Drunk in that was a lot of fun.
For driving, I like it. I just watched Memento for the first time. Holy hell, my brain felt like it ran a marathon, but in a good way. It was nice to watch such a stimulating film. It is a trip of a movie. Yeah, it's really mundane and shit though. If you ever watch like the cut together, like chronological version of it,
it's way too normal at that point. You're like, oh.
yeah.
It seems a weird thing to do with that film because that's the point.
100%. Yeah. It was just someone dicking around. It's like, oh, here's what actually happened, just in case you were curious, like, and you kind of forget over the course of the movie. But yeah, it's a fascinating way to put together a film.
Well, it's gotta be annoying if you watch it that way because it's basically every scene happens and then the character goes, "What happened?"
Yeah,
pretty much.
And I'll finish with this one. Most modern entertainment has been trashed for years. Glad I started making music that's chill and wholesome. Hail to the chat, the panel, and slurpos for all. There you go. Enjoy the slurpos. You may all.
I don't know about wholesome music though. Don't want it too wholesome.
No. Well, it's up to you, I suppose. You can make what you want, but yeah, I mean, it's I can see why people check out at a certain point with a lot of entertainment. It is not so fun, and it's like kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, hey, name some of your classic all-time favorite movies from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. You'd probably like reel off a dozen easily.
Yeah.
Reel off an all-time classic from the 2020s. Yeah, might be struggling a little bit. But such is what we find ourselves in. But hey, guys, I'm probably going to finish up there for this evening. But it's been great having you guys on. Robot Head, Reaper, thank you for coming back again. Reaper, particularly, I know you came on at short notice, so I appreciate you, man. And Nick from The Plot Strikes Back, this is your first time on the bar, and I know you're just like your channel's just up and coming. If you guys who are watching this, if you're not subscribed to The Plot Strikes Back, please do take a look at his channel and give him a subscription, because we'll see if I can get him at least to 1,000 subs by the time we're done.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. But as we always do, we will get through any super chats that we didn't cover on the night. We'll do a catch-up stream over the weekend.
Yeah.
But I do thank you guys for being super generous as always. And yeah, thank you for coming in for this open bar. But for now, that is all we got for
Do you
today.
want to mention next week?
Oh, yeah, I probably should actually. Yeah. So I'm going to be away for a bit of filming that's going on for our short films. So there's going to be no open bar next week. So we'll skip next week, and then the following week we'll be back to business as usual. So
Yeah.
just so you know. But I'm sure you guys will find something else to do without us. You'll be all right. But that's all we got for today. So go away now.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh boy.